I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was scarred with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawn. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcasted like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's your main man, the number one chief rockin' Knicks universe, Uncle Freezy. What's good? Y'all want this party started right? Y'all want this party started quickly, right? Them. Blue tears, orange tears, Blorange Tears. Bam. Let's go. Let's go. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? It's your main man, Uncle Freezy. Welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive. We here rocking. Coach, what's good? Greeny, what's good? DSJ is in the building. Mr. Vince, what's good? I see you. AJ Bula, what's good? Jermaine Royce is in the building. What's good? Almighty Finesse, I see you. VR Doggo, what's good? What's good? Third and salute. Good morning. I see you. I see you. Yeah, man. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Darrell Thomas, what's good? Kareem Granton's in the building. Cole Mega, what's good? All right. All right. All right. All right. I see y'all, man. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive. Let's get this thing popping. If you're coming in, you new to this thing, man, I'd like for y'all to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, consider joining the channel. We got a Patreon thing, man, in the link. Consider being a Patreon for us. We trying to design content behind the scenes, trying to do a little something. Subliminal 209 is in the building. What's good? Sab, what's good? CWC is in the building. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? I got this thing, man. People have been talking about, we've been talking about a lot of stuff in Knicks Universe, man, for the past month or so. And every time we get started, man, we get hijacked and going away. And I'm like, yo, is this what Knicks fans really want to talk about? Or are we misguided? Is this what Knicks fans want to talk about? Or are we misguided? Right? And I'm talking about Donovan Mitchell and if he's a fit for the city. Right? Is Donovan Mitchell a fit for the Knicks? I know what y'all want to say too. Hold on, let me put my lucky hat on. Bam. I got my lucky hat on, man. Now I'm ready to rock. And I know what y'all want to say, man. I know all the conversations point back to the same thing, man. The deal ain't done yet. What are we talking about? Donovan Mitchell's a small guard. We're going to have a small backcourt. What is Tibbs going to do with such and such? Blah, blah, blah. Well, what if Julius Randle don't buy in and blah, blah, blah? I'm asking you, as a Knicks fan, you know what? Before I ain't even say throw your hands in the air, because I've been eager to get to this. I've been eager for like an hour and a half to talk about this certain thing. Right? Just been eager to talk about a certain thing, right? Throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And if you got some little and stick of juicy fruit, somebody say, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Scream. Ah. Y'all know how this thing go. Y'all know how this thing go, man. Y'all know how this thing go. But yeah, man, on this Donovan Mitchell thing, man, come on, bro. I'm asking you, Knicks fan, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. Do you feel like Donovan Mitchell is a good fit for the Knicks? I'm not asking you for details, bro. I'm not asking you about what Donovan Mitchell daddy work at. Right? I'm not asking you what Donovan Mitchell used to do when he was at Louisville. That ain't what I'm asking. I'm asking you, do you believe Donovan Mitchell is a good fit for the Knicks right now? Because I already know all the stuff. I already had all the conversations. Man, what we going to do with a 6-1 backcourt? What if Julius Randle don't buy in? How Tibbs going to manage their minutes? You know Tibbs going to play in both 47 and a half minutes a game. I already had all those conversations, bro. I already had all those conversations and gals. I already had all those conversations. I already, man, done talked to people in the chat. People done came in the live stream, done talked me to death. They talk about waiting on Danny Ainge. They talk about doing this. They talk about doing that. And I don't care. What I'm asking you, Knicks fan, is if Donovan Mitchell is a good fit for the Knicks. Don't talk to me about price. Well, he might be a good fit if we don't give up Obi. No, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I want to get down to the brass tacks. Because lately, on the night show, on the morning show, the afternoon show, on other people's shows, all we've been talking about is the stuff that you can't prove or be held accountable for. Everybody is talking around the point. Why? Is Donovan Mitchell a good fit? Yes or no? And I know y'all want to ask me, what does a good fit mean? Does that mean we're going to win a championship? Or does that mean just we go? No. Clarity is on you. You clarify your own judgment. You made like I've been telling people for the last 2 weeks or so. For the most part, and occasionally we'll get occasionally the village idiot will get the microphone. You be like, hey, Forrest, pass this microphone to somebody else, and then Forrest start talking. You know, and you know what I'm saying? No, Forrest, you weren't meant to, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to pass that microphone. You're supposed to pass that microphone to Joe Madden, Forrest Gump. You weren't supposed to be talking. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that, right? And so what I'm getting at is do you guys believe Donovan Mitchell is a good fit? And I'm not asking you to ask me to clarify on your behalf. What I'm asking you is a yes or no question. I'm asking you a yes or no question. Should I make it a poll? Now that is something, you know what? I think I'll do that. I'm going to make that a poll question so that you can see what your peers think. Right? So that you can see what your peers think. Is Donovan Mitchell a good fit for the Knicks? Man, y'all smash that like button. Subscribe to this channel, man. Get those subscriptions up. Is Donovan Mitchell a good fit for Knicks? And the options are simple. Like we like to keep the options simple. Yes or no. Yes or no. Ain't no in between. Is Donovan Mitchell a good fit for the Knicks? Bim. There we go. Now we put that out there. Is Donovan Mitchell a good fit for the Knicks? Right. Here's the other thing that I want to talk to y'all about, man. If with the acquisition of a Donovan Mitchell, what are we doing? What are we doing? What do we hope to achieve with acquiring a Donovan Mitchell? See, the Donovan Mitchell topic, whether y'all like this or not, and this is what I've been debating about for the last 3 days, whether y'all like it or not, Donovan Mitchell is a target of this front office. Right? Whether you have Donovan Mitchell fatigue, whether you prefer another player, whether you like his fit, whatever it is, Donovan Mitchell is a target of this front office. So if you wad it up because you don't like this front office, or you wad it up because you're tired of the Knicks losing, or you wad it up because you feel like Donovan Mitchell is not the prototype NBA shooting guard, it doesn't matter. Because Donovan Mitchell is a target of this front office. So it doesn't matter. It don't matter if you're tired of hearing about Donovan Mitchell 24/7. Because you are going to hear Donovan Mitchell 24/7. Get over it. Because if you don't hear it here, you're going to hear it somewhere else. And it don't matter if you like this front office and think they're smart or not. Because they're here. And they're going to be here. So you're going to have to deal with it. Whether you deal with it over there or over here or wherever. And it don't matter if you think Donovan Mitchell is the prototype shooting guard in today's NBA. Right? Because he's a target of this front office. Now what? Now what do we do? Right? Because here's the thing that I asked Free Keith last night. I didn't really get an answer for it. So it makes me think maybe the question is a little harder to answer than I anticipated. When the Knicks get Donovan Mitchell, and they will get Donovan Mitchell, what's your next move? And I know a lot of people are like, but it's like the Carmelo. Look, man. People are like, yo, it's like the Carmelo Anthony deal all over again. Let me show y'all the Carmelo Anthony deal, just for those that hadn't paid attention. The Knicks gave up Wilson Chandler, Danilo Gallinari, Raymond Felton, the pick that wound up being Dougie McBuckets, and 2 second-round picks. In return, the Knicks got Carmelo Anthony, Hall of Famer, Chauncey Billups, Hall of Famer, Ronaldo Bachman, Sheldon Williams, Anthony Carter. So is it the Carmelo Anthony deal all over again? Is it the Carmelo Anthony deal all over again? Or do Knicks fans have some sort of cognitive historic condition where trading for a star just makes them want to wet their pants? Personally, I believe that's what it is. A certain sect in our group, in our Knicks family, are just afraid to become better than mediocre. I had two people come to me, write me paragraphs in DMs. So people, first of all, listen, DMs are not for paragraphs, bro. DMs are not for essays. DMs are not for essays. I know it says direct message, but listen, come on. If you got to type it out on Word and then copy and paste it into a DM, it ain't worth reading. Sorry. Sorry. If it takes you that much, if it takes you this much space to get your point across, your point is whack. Sorry, but I'm not. There's a certain sect of us in the Knicks, or in the Knicks fan base, the Knicks stratosphere, universe, whatever you want to call it, that is afraid to be great. And then when you ask them, why are you afraid to be great? They're like, because of all the things. What if we make a mistake? So what? If you make a mistake trying to be great, is it not the same as just being mediocre? So you guys would prefer to be mediocre than to take a chance to be something better than what you normally are. Uncle Freezy, what if we get Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson and all we are is a second-round exit team? Well, without them, you were not a second-round exit team. And you're going to pay the salary cap amount regardless. So why pay that salary cap amount regardless and be a 35-win, 37-win team every year? What are we doing out here? What are we doing? Is Donovan Mitchell a good fit? Is Donovan Mitchell a good fit? Ask yourself this. Stop asking. So my thing is, I want to come to y'all and ask y'all legit questions and ask y'all try to take conversations to an in-depth place so that you'll have something to think about and talk about as you go forward. Like something that stimulates the mind. It's the offseason. But we get stuck in, well, if Julius Randle comes to the man, come on. Come on. It all depends on Julius Randle mindset, Uncle Freezy. Nah, no, it don't. No, it don't. It's a certain sect of Knicks fans that are in this mindset that they've never seen winning, so they can't speak to winning or what it's like when the team is a 50-win team 3, 4, 5 years in a row. They can't speak to them. They're not an old timer like Sherwin. Like Sherwin has enough experience to see the Knicks win for an extended amount of time. See, they're not. I'm not picking out a certain group, but I am. They're not the group that Mr. Vince is in, where Mr. Vince has seen sustained winning on multiple occasions, and he knows that this franchise can do it. Mr. Vince is one that knows what it's like to have the expectations of 50 wins be nothing. 50 wins is nothing. Every year before you know who you even signed as a free agent, you're like, yeah, we guaranteed to win 50. We not there no more. And we are afraid to get there because there is a comfort in being mediocre. Yo, Justin W says, thank you and Justin DW, thank you for the generous contribution. Justin DW says, I think next year with Mitch, we'll be better. We expected Randall to be in a star role when it's made for Mitch. Let Randall be our Draymond. Our offense will run so much better. Our system will work and win. Hey, thank you for that. Thank you for that, Justin. But again, I will say this. Everything that we say and think can't be centered around Julius Randle. Julius Randle is a piece. And I love Julius Randle, bro, by the way. Right? But Julius Randle is a piece. And your great dinner out, Julius Randle is the shrimp scampi. He's not the steak. Julius Randle is an excellent situation. Like he's a excellent complimentary piece. Excellent complimentary piece. Everybody can't be the steak. Everybody's not going to have that sizzle. Everybody's not going to have you salivating over their talent. They're just not. It is what it is. Everybody can't be that piece. You only have 10 or 12 guys in the NBA that can be that piece. Like your Giannis, your Jokic, your LeBron, your Kevin Durant, your Steph Curry. After that, everybody, hey man, look, 6 through 25, in my opinion, are all the same guy. 6 through your Steph Curry, your Giannis, your Jokic, your LeBron. After that, after player number 6 or 7 on that list, it's 20 dudes that are the same dude. They're situation dependent. James Harden is not even in that category anymore. Kyrie Irving is not even in that category anymore. Trae Young is not in that category. Jimmy Butler is not in that category. Chris Paul is not in that category. Devin Booker is not. So to say that Randall is miscast, of course Randall was miscast because he never should have been cast in that role in the first place. He didn't fail at the role. The role was just not one for him to be in the first place. And let me speak to the choir a little bit. I'm going to speak to the people that agree with me. I'm going to do what they call speak to the choir. I'm going to speak to the group of fans that are like-minded like me. Right? And I don't speak to y'all much because I try to stay in the middle. But this opportunity here, where we go round and round on the Donovan Mitchell thing. Oh, Danny Ainge is playing chess while everybody else playing check. Danny Ainge wants to do such and such, but Leon Rose is such and such and such. I don't even care. I don't even care about that. I don't care. I don't care about what the asking price is or what the ultimate paying price or the ultimate price that's paid is. I don't care. I don't care because you're not going to tell me Quentin Grimes at 6 points a game is holding up a trade for Donovan Mitchell. You're not going to tell me that an Obi Toppin is holding up a Donovan Mitchell trade. You're not going to tell me an Emmanuel Quickly is holding up a Donovan Mitchell trade. Sorry, but not sorry. I'm going to speak to the people that are like-minded with me on this. And this is my opinion. This is not me moderating or trying to keep both sides at bay from going at each other's neck. This is what I'm saying to you, the smart Knicks fan. Every team has to upgrade talent on an annual basis. Because if you're not improving your talent, other teams are. If you're not improving your infrastructure and your systems, other teams are. And if you're not improving your infrastructure, your systems, your talent, you're going out of business. That's just how it works. Period. If you're not getting better, you're getting worse. If you're not getting better, you're getting worse. It's as simple as that. So even if you don't get Donovan Mitchell, right? Because he's the target. He's the target. And I know I said earlier, guess what? They're going to get Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, that's what I think. I'm saying in a general sense. If nothing becomes ridiculous, if Danny Ainge don't become utterly ridiculous, the Knicks will get Donovan Mitchell. Right? Or the Jazz will move on from Danny Ainge. And trust me, it can happen. Don't get it twisted. Right? Don't get it twisted because people in high place don't discount people in high places. Varsity Customs TV, thank you for becoming a member, bro. We're gonna try to provide the dopest content we possibly can. Thank you for the membership. You just joined a good team. What I'm saying to you is this. If you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And right now, the addition of Jalen Brunson is not, you moved the radar, but not enough. You definitely bumped the radar up some, right? You moved the needle. Right? But is Jalen Brunson enough to take you from 35 wins to 50 wins? See, because 50 wins is the gold standard. Anything under 50 wins, in my opinion, is a bad season. I don't care nothing about, look, don't talk to me about development, because the people that scream development, you already had all your young cores. Don't try to play me. I'm smart. I'm not a dummy. And the people that come into this chat, they smart. They not dummies like El Servi. El Servi is smart. They'll be trying to play El Servi. You can't just fool people with rhetoric. Like, you just can't fool Billy Goat. Man, we just need a young core. A young core. Listen, how many young cores do you need? You had a Frank Ntilikina young core that just left. Frank Ntilikina, Kevin Knox, Damian Dotson, Alonzo Trier. Right? Or what about the one before that? The Kristaps Porzingis, Tim Hardaway Jr. young core. Tim Hardaway Jr., Trey Burke, Kristaps Porzingis, Luke Cornett, Isaiah Hicks. Don't be trying to fool us with this young core conversation, right? Don't be trying to do the hidden ball trick. No, Uncle Freezy, it's in this hand when I know it's in this hand. Come on, man. We too smart for that. Come on. AJ, tell somebody. Tell somebody, AJ, you can't fool us with the same old rhetoric. You can't. Fooling me with the same old. Man, the young core, we just got to develop our own star. Okay. Where's Jerry and Grant, Cle Anthony Early? Y'all remember that young core? Where were they at? Y'all remember Langston Galloway, Tony Douglas, Torrey Murray? Where's that young core? Where's that young group at right now? Where is your young superstar? Point them out. Point them out. We've been at this for 9 years, almost 10 years. Point them out. If they hear, if you're good at developing a young core, if you feel like getting young players through the draft is your way to go, point out where you have been successful getting a young star. Because y'all told me that rebuilding was the way to go when we selected Frank Ntilikina. And I was like, you know what? Reasonable mind, but I can acquiesce to the middle some so that I won't, the point that I have to prove won't seem like I'm forcing a narrative on somebody. And in that draft, we got Frank Ntilikina and Damian Dotson. And all I'm asking you is, okay, if you were right, where's our young star at right now? Because in that draft, we passed on Donovan Mitchell. Where he at? In that draft, Phil Jackson wanted Josh Jackson. If we move up, man, we got to get the kid out of Kansas because he is the prototype 6'8" wing player, big hands, athletic. You know, we can put him in the, maybe one day he'll be a, dare I say, Scottie Pippen type player. SKOE is like, yo, what up? The youngsters don't know what it feels like. 92. 10 years. Second round or better. No success should be took for granted. I'm telling you. The point of this super chat is 92 to 01, 10 straight years, second round or better. That's the point that we're getting at. A lot of people don't know what it's like for this team to win 50 games 3, 4, 5 years in a row. So they get comfortable in that zone of mediocrity. So we comfortable. Don't trade for Donovan Mitchell because we might give up too many of our young players. If one of these dudes that's proposed in this draft had Donovan Mitchell potential and talent, I would say the deal is off. Don't do it. Only one. If one of these young, Emmanuel Quickly, Obi Toppin, Quentin Grimes, had Donovan Mitchell like potential, I would say don't do this deal. Just one. Just one kid. If one kid going all the way back to, say, the 2013 draft had Donovan Mitchell like talent and was still on the roster, I would say don't do it. Just one. Just one. Just one kid. Just one. But we don't have it. We don't have that just one kid with Donovan Mitchell type potential. We don't have just one kid, and I'm talking about that's being proposed in the Donovan Mitchell trade, right? We just don't have that guy. And it's the reason why we're looking to trade for Donovan in the first place. Because if you can't grow it, you got to go buy it. It's simple. It's simple. If you can't produce it, you got to go buy it. Right? If you can't produce your own talent, you got to go acquire it. We sitting here. The Knicks hadn't won 50 games since. The Knicks hadn't won 50 games since The Sopranos were on TV. The Knicks hadn't won games since The Sopranos were on the air. How long has that been? How long has that been? How long are we going to wait? How long are we going to wait? How long are we going to wait for this team to bounce back and be a 50-win team? How long are we going to wait for our baseline to be second round? How long are we going to wait for those moments where our star on a nationally televised game shows the world that New York is just as important as Los Angeles, California, and San Francisco, California, and Boston, Massachusetts, and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania? How long are we going to wait before we prove to the world that the Knicks are just as good or better as Los Angeles, California, as San Francisco, California, as Phoenix, Arizona, as Dallas, Texas. See, because at some point, the Knicks fans that understand that having talent is what gets you there, we are going to have to carry those that can't carry themselves. Come on, Knicks fans. Y'all used to the lottery. Y'all comfortable with the lottery. Y'all like talking about the draft in January. Y'all like talking about Victor Wembanyama, and this season hadn't even started yet. Y'all like talking about Scoot Henderson. You like fast forwarding through this season right here because you're excited about a kid that's probably just out of high school, now get ready to go to college. Y'all excited about them kids. Y'all excited about draft picks for kids that are in 9th grade right now. 9th grade dudes with braces on their teeth that can't even find homeroom yet. Y'all excited about them because one day they'll be a Knick. Let me tell you what Uncle Freezy is excited about. Uncle Freezy is excited about this offense that the Knicks showed off in Summer League. 2 bigs up top, a pick and roll ball handler, directing both of them to manipulate the defense to get easy looks. I like that. I like the fact that the coaching staff showed off a couple of things that the Knicks will be doing next season. High pressure defense in the open court, making you work for every inch of the court. I like that possibility. I like that. I like the fact that Tibbs is going to make teams work for every 768,240 square inches of basketball court. I like the fact that the Knicks are going to impose their will on teams this year. I like the fact that Tom Thibodeau and this Knicks team is going to make you work for every 768,240 inches of basketball court. And maybe y'all don't. Maybe y'all don't like to have a game muddied up. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. But what I will tell you is 2 years ago when we did that with subpar talent, the Knicks made the playoffs. I like the fact that Tibbs is going to make you work for every inch. Everything that you get against the Knicks is going to be contested. Everything. Everything. I wish I had some basketball coaches in here. I need to get some basketball coaches in here to talk about what it's like to play against a team that has more talent, but you have more will and determination than them, and that's why you win. Any basketball coaches in here? Any coaches that coach against teams that had superior talent and you beat them just off of sheer will and determination? CWC says, drop the link, Uncle Freezy. Stop hogging the mic before Leon Rose cut the mic off and you be on mute for 3 minutes. Nah, bro, nah, man. Just sit back and listen, CWC. Sit back and listen. Buckle your seatbelt. I'm taking you somewhere. I'm taking you somewhere, CWC. I'm taking you somewhere you ain't never been before. I wish I had some coaches to come in and explain to everybody what it's like imposing your will on other teams, even though they have superior talent. And you take the talent that you have, plus will and determination, and beat the more talented teams, the more physically gifted teams in the league. The more gifted teams in the league. What I'm saying to you guys is this. What I'm saying to you guys is this. You have to upgrade everything every offseason. You can't go into a season thinking, well, I'm just gonna let the kids get better and have that grow like that organically. And then that way, when we face Kevin Durant, that Quentin Grimes was a little bit better than he was last year. Nah, Uncle Freezy, we don't need a Donovan Mitchell, man. Because Quentin Grimes is on the way. Quentin Grimes is getting better and better. I'm sure he is. I'm sure Quentin Grimes is a fine human being. And I know he's a good basketball player, but guess what he's not? Donovan Mitchell. He's not that. He can never be that. He won't ever be that. You got to upgrade your roster. Will we like to do it organically? Will we like to do it through the draft? Yes. But how many teams roll out a Penny Hardaway, Nick Anderson, Dennis Scott, Jeff Turner, Shaquille O'Neal, Anthony Goldwire, Brooks Thompson? How many teams get that right? How many teams roll out a Russell Westbrook, Reggie Jackson, James Harden, Kevin Durant, Nick Collison, Serge Ibaka? How many teams do that? How many teams roll out a Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Harrison Barnes? How many teams do that? And if your dream has been to do that, keep on dreaming. Keep on dreaming. If you think that the Knicks are going to draft 10 kids that's going to take them to an NBA title, dream on, dreamer. Your life is in the way. That's some brand new heavies. That's brand new heavies for those that are counting. For those keeping track at home, dream on, dreamer is the brand new heavies. And for those that don't know who the brand new heavies are, I suggest you add them to your music, to your playlist. Brand new heavies. You have a dream on, dreamer. They have a jump and move, jump and move, and jump and move, and jump and move and stop. Yeah, I heard them. Y'all heard brand new heavies before. Right? If you're a Knicks fan, at least I think that's the brand new heavies. Maybe not. I think it's brand new heavies. But if you think the Knicks are going to take all these draft picks and in a romantic Walt Disney movie script type fantasy ending, draft 10 or 12 consecutive dudes, and they're going to win the Knicks a championship for Madison Square Garden, dream on, dreamer. Your life is in the way. What I'm telling you, as somebody that's been a Knicks fan for a very long, I've been a Knicks fan so long, I'm embarrassed. I've been a Knicks fan so long, I'm embarrassed to say because of a lack of accomplishment. I've been a Knicks fan for so long that when people ask me, I legit just want to say just a couple years. Because I've been through it too much. I already been through the 10,000 young cores. Yo, Uncle Freezy, we just need to let the young core develop. Really? Which young core are we going to let develop? We going to let this RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickly core develop? Or are we going to let the Frank Ntilikina, Kevin Knox, Damian Dotson young core develop? What about the Kristaps Porzingis, Josh Harrelson, Luke Cornett, Isaiah Hicks, Trey Burke young core? Right? What about the Amon Shumpert and them young core? Kuzmingus, Willie Hernan Gomez, Landry Fields, Jeremy Lin. What about them young cores? Y'all be telling me the Knicks ain't never had a young core, Uncle Freezy. That's a lie. Stop trying to lie to me, bro. I'm a real person. I'm a human being. I'm not just an image. I'm a real live person. I'm aware. I've experienced these things with you. You can't fool me into thinking whatever it is because somebody told you something. Somebody gave you a catchphrase, a buzzword, and you've adapted to it or adopted it. Doesn't mean that I will adapt to it and adopt it. I've been in the game for years. It made me an animal. It's rule to this thing. I wrote me a manual. That's a quote for the Notorious B.I.G. For those that don't know. What I'm telling you is right now, when we have these resources, the Knicks should be going in on acquiring stars. And I know that's a departure from what I said early in the year when it looked like the kids had potential. But you know what, though? In that prisoner of the moment scenario, I will admit that you have to rethink everything based on situations. What do you want to do, Knicks fans? The organization hadn't been good in a long time. The organization hadn't been good in a long time. The organization has been dormant. Yes, occasionally a promising young rookie will come through the door and we'll get excited, whether it's Tim Hardaway Jr. showing out in a Rising Stars game, whether it's Kristaps Porzingis dunking belly to belly and chest to chest on LaMarcus Aldridge, right? Whether it's Amon Shumpert dunking on the Boston Celtics, right? Whether it's Lynn Sanity versus Toronto, Whether it's RJ going 6 for 6 from 3 against the Boston Celtics. Whether it's Mitchell Robinson's a block party. We've had some promising young guys come through the door. Right? I'm not denying that. What I am saying, though, is at some point, all of those feelings have to equate to winning a championship. And if it's not winning a championship, all you're doing is wasting time. And I know a lot of you guys have time to waste. A lot of y'all have time to waste. I don't. A lot of y'all have time to waste. A lot of y'all have time to throw away. I don't. So my stance is abundantly clear. And if I hadn't made it, I'll do it again. Just win, baby. That's what I want you to do. Championships. When it comes to championships, man, listen, I don't want to. I'm not here for another 7-year rebuild. I don't want to go through. Let Knox ride the bench, man. Maybe he'll be. And I'm like, yo, I'll support. Yo, Knox will be something, man. He just need. I did all the supporting, man. I did all the cheerleading. I did all of that. Right? I did all of that. I did all the cheerleading, man. I did all the supporting. But now it's time for return on investment. And I know people like ROI. I don't know. ROI, man, you got to be patient, man. ROI, why you need ROI right now? And you need it right now, man, because at some point the chickens have to come home to roost. Right? At some point the chickens got to come home to roost. All that chicken in the yard, playing the field, all this stuff, chicken all day, change work, all that, you know. Oh, this is an excellent point right here. East Blue Drew says, you would have traded Giannis year 2. Nah, I wouldn't have. No, I wouldn't have. But for everybody that make that surface point, that on the surface point, they always conveniently leave out the fact that the Milwaukee Bucks drafted Jabari Parker number 2. And you know how they got the number 2 pick? They earned it. For everybody that says, man, you too impatient. Some of y'all, listen, this is a fact of life, but some of y'all not going to live to see. It's life. A lot of us are not going to live to see the Knicks win a championship. A lot of us are going to be too old or maybe gone when the Knicks win a championship. You want that to happen? Yes, you do. Because you said wait. You said wait. Be patient. Not just be patient, but beyond patient. See, rebuilds don't last this long. Rebuilds don't last this long, man. They don't. Look at Phoenix. Look at what Phoenix did. Phoenix was a perennial playoff team every year. They messed around and got Devin Booker. They were still trash. They added. Now they're a perennial playoff power. And what have the Knicks done? Somebody tell me, how long does a rebuild last? How long does a rebuild last? Go get Donovan Mitchell and go get another star to go with Donovan Mitchell and run it. Go get a star. Go get Donovan Mitchell and go get another star and run it. Go get Donovan Mitchell, Leon Rose, and go get you another star and have the Garden what it truly is, a garden. Because we're the only place that has a garden full of seeds. See, our garden never blooms. We are the garden that never blooms. We always have a bunch of seeds. Go young, go freezing. You got to let them grow, blah, blah, blah. We the only garden that don't grow nothing. The Knicks are the only garden that don't grow nothing. What are we doing? What are we doing? Are we at a point now that we've lost so much that we take these odd stances? And yes, some of y'all are in the chat. You've lost so much that you've lost your direction. And some of y'all have even lost your mind thinking a sport is about losing on purpose, or a sport is not about always winning. Newsflash. Sports is about winning. Some of y'all have lost for so long. You've lost so long that you got comfortable with losing. That's all you know. When you first started liking the Knicks, you might have liked Carmelo, but we were losing. And then we started winning with Carmelo, and you felt like that is the ultimate to winning. That's not the ultimate to winning. Carmelo Anthony making an all-star team is not winning. That's Carmelo Anthony making an all-star team. Right? Some of y'all become fans at the end of Patrick Ewing's career when Pat was a shell of himself. And y'all say that era of Knicks basketball. No, it wasn't an era. It wasn't an era. Allen Houston's not a Hall of Famer. Latrell Sprewell's not a Hall of Famer. John Starks is not a Hall of Famer. Charles Oakley is not a Hall of Famer. Charles Smith is not a Hall of Famer. Mark Jackson, okay, depending on. Patrick Ewing is a Hall of Famer. Patrick Ewing is a Hall of Famer. That wasn't an era. That was a generational talent that New Yorkers don't appreciate. That wasn't an era of a bunch of great dudes coming along at the same time, and you know they gelled and they came up against the mighty Michael Jordan. No. Anthony Mason, may he rest in peace. And I love Anthony Mason and his son. His son is a good dude. But Anthony Mason was not a Hall of Famer. He was not a top 10 pick. He was a cast off from a bunch of other teams. He found a home in New York. And I appreciate him for that. John Starks wasn't a lottery pick. John Starks was a cast off by the San Antonio Spurs and Golden State Warriors. and he found a home in New York. Patrick Ewing wasn't surrounded by lottery picks and all that stuff where that era of Knicks basketball that we point to. Nah, that was a generational talent dragging a subpar roster to places that nobody expected them to go. And I love Starks, and I love Mason and Mason's son. Shout out to Anthony Mason's son. A good dude. Allen Houston is not a Hall of Famer. Latrell Sprewell is not a Hall of Kurt Thomas is not a Hall of Marcus Camby is not a Hall of Fame. Larry Johnson. These are not Hall of Famers. Patrick Ewing is a Hall of Famer. He carried a generation of Knicks fans on his back. Herb Williams ain't a Hall of Famer. Chris Childs, Charlie Ward, Greg Anthony, Hubert Davis, Tony Campbell. These dudes not Hall of Famers. Patrick Ewing carried these guys, y'all. Paris Duggar, thank you for your generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, trade everything for Donovan Mitchell to almost get us a 7 seed. No. Where this scarred tweet is, where the scarred super chat is at is trade everything. Soon as you say trade everything, that automatically make you think that you comfortable with where we are. You comfortable with where we trade everything. First of all, what is everything? Did everything get you to 50 wins? Did everything get you a championship? Did everything get you a league MVP? Did everything get you 2 or 3 All-Stars? What are we talking about? Everything. Everything. Trade everything. Trade everything. Trade everything. I almost fainted just now. Trade everything, Paris Duggar. Paris Duggar, trade everything. Really? Trade everything off a 37-win team. Everything? Everything? Really? Quentin Grimes, 6 points a game? Obi Toppin, 10 points a game. Emmanuel Quickly, 11 points a game on 39% shooting from the floor is everything. Or is it nothing? I love that energy, bro. I love that energy, man. Trade everything. I love that energy. It just make me want to dig in further. It just make me realize that the few of us that realize that sports is about winning, it makes us, I know what the correct term is. Trust me, but I'm going to say it in a way that makes sense for this space and time. But not understand that sports is not about winning makes us more righter. And I know I probably should have said even more correct. Right? I know I should have said even more correct, but in this case, I just want to say even more righter. Because sports is about winning. And if you're losing, you're not doing it right. And you want to keep the people that have not been doing it right around so that we can keep losing better. So that we can be better at losing. What are we doing? What are we doing out here, man? Since we've lost our way, the New York Knicks compass is all over the place. Our compass is pointing all over the place. Our compass should be pointing at one thing, and that's championships. In a hurry. You think the Miami Heat right now are thinking about tanking or developing young players? They want to win right now. You think Golden State is worried about tanking? They want to win right now. You know how I know? Because they're the defending NBA champs. Sports is about winning. Either you're winning championships or you're losing. Period. There is no in between. There is no in between. Either you're winning championships or you're that other team. Either you're winning championships or you're just that other team. You think people care that the Boston Celtics lost in the NBA Finals? The Celtics don't even care. They are heartbroken. They are heartbroken. You think they're thinking, well, maybe we'll get back one day. No, they want to get back this year and win it. Meanwhile, the Knicks are talking about Quentin Grimes. What are we doing? Sports is a total sum business. Either you are or you are not. And there is only team that can be that. Only one team can be the NBA champ. 29 other teams failed. Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, do you know the value of 4 unprotected first-round picks? No, I don't, Paris Duggar. Can you please explain that to me? What the value of 4 unprotected first-round picks? Go ahead, explain that to me. I need somebody to explain that. But I do understand what the value of a Larry O'Brien trophy is. Explain that one to me, Paris Duggar, the value of 4 unprotected first-round picks. Explain that to me. Because right now, I can name the last 4 Knicks first-round picks, and you tell me if they can win a championship. So the Knicks didn't pick in the first round this year, right? So last year, who did they pick in the first? They picked Quentin Grimes. The year before that, Emmanuel Quickley, Obi Toppin. The year before that, R.J. Barrett. That's 4 Knicks first-round picks that they used. Right? Does Quentin Grimes, Emmanuel Quickley, R.J. Barrett, and Obi Toppin win you a championship? Be truthful. Right now. The last 4 first-round picks, because you just asked me, do I understand the value of 4 unprotected first-round picks? Right? And I just named you the last 4 New York Knicks first-round picks. Can that win you a championship? I named them Grimes, Quickley, Obi, RJ. Does that win you a championship? Hey, David L. Paris Duggar. That's my man. Paris Duggar is my man. We don't always agree, but we will be truthful with each other. That's the reason why I like him. That's the reason why when every time he say something, I always be quick to be like, "Yo, what Paris say?" Because I value his point of view, super chat or not, I value his point of view, right? I take into account what he said because everybody's not going to have the same experiences and such, right? But my question is, does the Knicks last 4-round picks that they chose, their last four first-round picks that they brought in, Quentin Grimes, Emmanuel Quickly, Obi Toppin, RJ Barrett, does that equal a championship? Does that equal a championship? Y'all tell me what y'all think. Don't be shy. If I'm wrong, say I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, say I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. If I'm wrong about my assessment that Grimes, Quickly, Obi, RJ does not win you a championship. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me. Come on. Sir Kanye Pepper, thank you for the generous contribution. Sir Kanye Pepper says, Mitchell does not guarantee us anything either. Great point. Great point. And Paris Douglas says, yo, okay, this ain't, okay. All right. Paris Douglas says, oh, snap. Somebody is available to help us win a chip. I listen. I get it. I get it. So Donovan Mitchell does not guarantee you that you win a championship, right? But what Donovan Mitchell does when he's healthy gets you closer. And like I mentioned previously, Leon Rose, stop playing around, man. Go get Donovan Mitchell and bring in another star right now. Right now. Right now. Right? Here's the thing. Do I understand the value of what 4 unprotected first-round picks is? Of course I do. Of course I understand that on the open market. Right? But if you keep those first-round picks, which is the theme that is presented to counter my point, I'm pointing out to you that the last 4 first-round picks that you brought here, that you brought home, are Grimes, Quickly, Obi, RJ. Does that win you a chip? Does that win you a chip? And be honest with yourselves, Knicks fans. Big Kev, tell Big Kev, please tell everybody to be honest with themselves. Hey, Kevin Bergen, please tell everybody to be honest with themselves, man. Because this thing is not about, yo, the Smoking Nick is in the building. Smoke says, Freezy, they know the answer. And that none of them dudes are generational talent. That's why the excuses continue while they move the goalposts. Thank you for your generous contribution, bro. I appreciate that, man. Smoke, where you at? I'm about to put the link in the chat, man, in a minute, man. I need you to come in here because I need some balance for both sides, bro. I need some balance on the panel. I need some balance. And I value your opinion. I value your opinion. I do, however, think you kind of a little hard on Hard Will sometimes. But Hard Will's a big boy. He can take it. Hard Will's a big boy. He can take it. So real quick, I'm going to play something. I'm going to go grab a water. I'm throwing the link in the chat. All I'm saying is when you come in here, bring your A game. Bring your A game. This video chat right here, if you sensitive, I advise sitting this one out. But if you bring in smoke, I'm here for it. This is a joint from my homeboy DSJ. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab a water.
Yeah.
shorty, let me holler at you. Girl, it's the way you walk, command attention. It's all about your vibe, your true intention. I call you good God. You're misunderstood, cause you're from the hood. From first eye contact, I knew I had to have that. Had a feeling you were something special. Didn't know if I could match that. You draw a crowd just to say hi. You make it happen, you stay fly. You big and everyone know. If I was a stock, you would raise mine. Even with a t-shirt and sweats on. Girl, you work it for me. Don't matter what they say about you. Baby, you're perfect. Girl, it's the way you walk, command attention. It's all about your vibe, your true intention. I call you good God. You're misunderstood, cause you're from the hood. That Dominican girl, East African queen, call you my cinnamon girl. Sweet like grandma Copper, you were a #1 prospect. Even if you're raised in the projects, and you got the whole game on lock. Cops and robbers, they'll build an altar, you're so bomb. You shoot them down so calm. You don't be playing no games, but sexy in jerseys you throw on. I'm your soldier, I will march in line. You know it's your world. Let me hit you with that more in line. You go, girl, it's the way you walk, command attention. It's all about your vibe, your true intention. I call you good God. You're misunderstood, cause you're from the hood.
They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Well, I would love to be the one that holds you, console you in times of grief. And
Yo, that was my man DSJ. What's good, fellas?
Yo,
What's good, Fareed?
what's
Yeah,
good?
Good morning.
Morning, salute.
Yeah, man. Hey, salute y'all. Salute, man. I hate to be the heartbreaker, bro. I hate to be the heartbreaker, man. But I gotta be the heartbreaker, man.
You preaching, bro? I'm with you the whole every word.
Yo,
There's
sports
There's
is
a
about
lot of
winning,
haters. Man. There's some haters up in this chat today, boy. I tell you, it kind of got me a little twisted.
Yeah, it's yo. The whole thing about sports is about winning. If you're not winning, you're not doing it right. Right.
The thing is I don't see how you can trash a dude that I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just talking in circles. You like people that think that the way they're thinking right now. You can't talk to them. 'Cause those kind of people just they got blinders on. Like they're flat earthers to me. I mean, at this point, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Right.
They're just trying to get a rise out of people, I think. There's no universe that, like I said earlier in chat, when you asked is Donovan Mitchell a good fit?
Where's your
Donovan Mitchell is a good fit on every team in the NBA. I mean, you don't get dudes like this. Like, he's already a bona fide all-star. Okay? He obviously can get his points. Yeah, he's got a little bit of a deficiency on defense. But the physical side of it, he's long. Even though he's only 6'2", he's got a 6'10" wingspan. He's mad athletic. He's strong as hell for a shooting guard. Like as far as weight goes, he's probably the top 5 like thickness for shooting guards in the NBA, regardless of height.
Right.
So, to me, he's got a talent that you need to build around. So yeah, he's a good fit as long as the coaches and GMs make him a good fit.
Right. Let me address this thing for Paris Duggar. Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, get KD or Brandon Ingram if you're talking to Chip, not Donovan Mitchell. Okay.
I'm not saying that Mitchell's going to get us a championship this year.
Donovan Mitchell is better than Brandon Ingram.
He's the next step that this team needs to take at this moment. So those other doors towards the chip can happen. That next move can happen. We don't get him, that next move can't happen as fast as people want it to happen. Yep.
Right.
You got to sustain a playoff run. And
like we're not going to change the Knicks narrative and the stain that's on our name right now until we make a couple moves like this and show that this can be sustained for a year or two. And it seems like we doing it the right way.
Right.
Yeah, I was just trying to say, in reference to, I hear people talking about the organization, and we got a loyal fan base that's been here supporting. Reference to what Freezy's saying too, not winning. We got to make a splash to bring somebody in that fits what we trying to do. As far as people saying he's not going to get us a championship, I think y'all are rushing, and we got to sustain a playoff run first before we could talk championship.
Yeah.
And you got to look at his resume and see that he's been bringing his team to the playoffs. And I know you guys don't think the players that will be left on the rosters are that bad of players, because you guys saying we could do it without Mitchell, and Mitchell is better than these players that we speak of. So with Mitchell there, for you to say we won't be able to even make the playoffs is kind of crazy to me. I think we would be able to make the playoffs with Mitchell. And the point is, once they get chemistry and we able to sustain a playoff run, going to the playoffs back-to-back years and coming out of the first round and doing different things, then we could talk about championship. You know what I mean? You got to build up to that. And we haven't even been in the playoffs yet, and y'all talking about championship. So I feel like with Donovan Mitchell and the players that'll be left on this team, because most of the time when you get in Donovan, you're going to hear RJ's gone. We wouldn't have had Brunson. It's a lot of things y'all overlooking that's going to be playing alongside Donovan Mitchell if he was able to come. Randall is still on the team. You can't say that this is not a playoff team.
Hartenstein is a low-key.
Hartenstein, we got Mitchell Robinson. So you have to take that all in the fact that I think first year we could be a playoff team. And the point I'm trying to make, if we sustain a playoff run, then that means it worked. Anything else really don't make sense. We haven't been to the playoffs but twice out of the last 10 years.
Right.
Just think about that. And the organization is doing great. So with that being said, in business, this is when you got to put somebody on the stage that adds up what we really trying to do, making it like they trying to win now. If you look at the moves that they make, they building and trying to retool and make a run to try to compete. That's all I wanted to say. Freezy, that was a dope take this morning. I agree with you on a lot of stuff that you were saying, and you already know the madness.
Right.
It's maddening.
All I'm saying is this, bro. You got to teach young kids to win. When you bring kids up in a losing culture, they develop bad habits.
Yep.
They develop a loser's mentality.
You were telling the truth earlier. Because you said I'm part of that younger youth. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't see a lot of winning when I became a Knicks fan. And like you said, I came accustomed to that Knicks talk every year. Oh, we in the lottery. I'm looking forward to that. But it took me to the last 3-4 years to understand that we in a dead end street right now, in that lottery, just sitting there. Like, we're not going nowhere. There's a street that points in no direction. We're like, you know what I mean? So I don't want to. Like you said, I want to see us win. So, like you said, I agree with you with your take earlier. You got to build it for the people to come. Like, if we build it up with Donovan, yes, just like Hartwell said, we got to sustain a playoff run for 1 to 2 years at least and then once it's built, they will come. But if I don't want us to build through the draft no more. It doesn't work. Like you said, you pointed it out. It does not work. I've been a Knicks fan for a long time, almost 20 years. It doesn't work.
If you see all the teams that have been getting lottery picks for the last like 10, 15 years, it don't change unless one of them lottery picks finally hit. That's the thing. And if it ain't never hitting, it ain't never going to hit. So you might as well, like, if you told me these last 10 lottery pick years we've had that we were going to get a player of the caliber of Donovan Mitchell, y'all just liars if you said you wouldn't be happy.
Yeah,
I mean,
but the problem is
trades for the peoples that we could have drafted. Like, we could have drafted these players. We effed up. Like, we totally effed up the whole situation.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people passed on him. A lot of people passed on Giannis. I mean, there's a lot of people, you know.
But you can't just, man. You just can't. The Giannis thing is the classic example of somebody wanting to be right and leaving out details.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't just point to Giannis without pointing to the Chris Middleton trade with Detroit.
Yep.
Chris Middleton and Spencer Dinwiddie were going to be throw-ins on the Brandon Knight, Brandon Jennings trade.
And who knew?
And they were like, yo, we got too many. Think about this. The Bucks were going to get Brandon Ingram. I mean, not Brandon Ingram, but Brandon Jennings, or whatever point guard, whoever, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Chris Middleton in a deal for the other point guard. And Detroit was like, nah, that's too much. We only have one roster spot. Detroit was fleecing themselves, begging to get rid of Dinwiddie so they could sit, because they wanted the roster spot. They were trying to throw Dinwiddie away, right? Guess who's left in the league out of those two dudes?
Dinwiddie.
The throwaway dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Middleton and Dinwiddie are still in the league playing prominent roles. And Brandon Jennings and Brandon Knight are gone.
Gone.
I mean, and who knew Brook Lopez was going to be an essential piece to that for them?
Who knew he would be a 3-point shooter?
That's what I was going to say.
Because he couldn't.
The direction of the team. The direction of the team has to, like, the Knicks aren't going in that direction to try and, you know, if they would have, I mean, I don't know if they tried to, like, make a move for Ivy or anything, but it's obvious that they trying to get a superstar or all-star out of the league because of the direction that they're going in. You know what I'm saying? It's obvious because you don't bring in a player. Like, for instance, when I spoke about it before, like Duran, for example, there's no room for those type of players on the team. And if they're not going to come in and play, and that's the whole point with the players that y'all griping over, you know, they have to fit with the plan of the future of the team. When you work down how these guys are going to get paid, when they do for money, all that stuff is coming right up as well. So it all makes sense to see that they have to make this type of move to get the Knicks going in the direction we need to be in. And that's what the coaches and everything is set up trying to do. That's what Tibbs' plan is. So you can't mix up tanking with stuff that we don't. The Knicks don't tank really. They don't do that, obviously. So when people saying that, get something out the draft, and you see the teams that's trying to prepare themselves for that right now, they facing reality with that, and you can't halfway do it. You have to do it. You can't try to win and try to do that mid-season, or that's something that they already planned to do. And that's why me and Freezy used to say choose a direction, because we wasn't sure if they was going in that direction or this direction. But I think now we can clearly see.
They wasn't sure.
No, the play did that. Exactly. The coach, the players helped them make a decision on, because they even drafting Obi, you can tell that it looked like they was going in a different direction. And when they had the success with Randall and the 4th seed, it looked like, to me, my opinion, that they feel like they could do something. So you can't tell a team to tank as good as we do as far as financially. It's a lot of reasons tied into why the Knicks do what they do. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Exactly.
Brandon Ingram's nice and all. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's a great player, but what has he done for his team? What has his
He
teams
hasn't
done
done
that's been on?
anything. He hasn't done
Exactly.
anything.
I'm tired of that narrative from people. They try to call out other all-star type players that are better than Mitchell.
Like
Is he really
I've heard
better than
somebody
Mitchell?
say,
Brandon Ingram got
like,
one All-Star appearance.
They're different players, first of all.
Right.
Donovan Mitchell has 3. Brandon Ingram
They're-
for his career averaged 18 points per game. Donovan Mitchell for his career averaged about 23 points per game.
Hey, let me
And they
address the
played
super
about
chat
the
real
same
quick.
amount of games.
So Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says Mitchell is not better than Brandon Ingram next to Brunson. Okay.
That's
Yo,
But
let me do something real
But
quick. Hold on, y'all.
all because
First,
you
we
pay
not
money for
making
your
the playoffs.
opinion,
Now we
you don't
going
make
one round.
no
Y'all
sense to me.
Coach, hold on for a second. Hey, Marcus, what's good, man?
doing good, doing good.
How you doing, man? Yeah, man. Why you ain't say salute to the chat, man? Say hello to everybody. You just jump in
Salute
here
to
and
the
start
chat.
talking.
Hello, how y'all doing?
Salute.
I was trying to, but when the Knicks
Salute.
fans started having discussions, it get a little dicey.
Hey, chat, go down and smash that like button and smash that subscribe. Turn on them bells and them noties so we lit.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Somebody working in the daycare.
Yeah,
Right.
my son out here, the number one draft pick out here screaming.
Daddy daycare.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, man.
But no, it's weird. It's like RJ quickly, Obi, Grimes are 4 draft picks who haven't done nothing.
Oh boy.
Nothing.
Mr. Matthews, you about to make enemies, bro.
I don't care. It's nothing. I don't care. Do you notice, like, growing up being a Knicks fan, watching Stephon Marbury on TV, knowing what Starbury can do, and be declined? I used to get roasted for being a Knicks fan and watching Starbury every week. Who got an echo?
So have I, bro. I feel your pain.
It's like I don't get it. It's like, and even then, I love RJ to death, but RJ has been very inconsistent last couple of years.
Last couple of years. He's only been playing a couple of years.
He only played 3 years. He only played 3 years.
When I say a couple years, I mean like
Just
he's been
last
in for
year.
3 years, but he's been in.
2 years.
I'm being honest. I'm being honest.
How many years you thought he was in the NBA for?
He only played 3 years.
I just said the last couple years. When I say a couple years, really, I mean from 3. It just depends.
Yeah, he right up now. He ain't saying
I'm
to
right.
his defense. He not saying that RJ been inconsistent 7 years. He right. RJ has been inconsistent. A lot of that too, though. I don't blame RJ. I think injuries have some of that to go with it, and I think the fact that the roster is always turning over. Yo, when's the last time you seen the Knicks go with a 10-man rotation 4 years in a row?
Never.
A 7-man rotation 4 years in a row.
Last 4 years felt like.
And you just can't blame say RJ or whoever is the scapegoat. You can't blame because the backcourt is always. When's the last time the backcourt has been the same 3 years in a row? Same starting point guard, same starting shooting guard.
Never.
And how many times
the coach hasn't even been the same.
Yeah, a coach too.
Right. That's what I'm saying. The instability and all these things lead to all this stuff that gets us further and further away from winning. But we say the cure to it is keep drafting young players. Through all this instability, the answer is keep drafting young players.
And the way we critique young players is crazy. And to say keep drafting young players don't make sense.
Y'all don't understand. If I hear another Knicks fan on another channel saying, I quote, that Jalen Brunson isn't good or decent enough, when I've seen Jalen Brunson time and time again go out there and literally has dropped. It's funny because this same Jalen Brunson that we crap on dropped 41 against the same Donovan Mitchell team. But you know what? I let that go. I'm going to let that slide. It's okay. But when you say that Quentin Grimes, Obi Toppin,
come on, man,
quickly,
exactly,
and 6 picks, you mean tell me you're not gonna give that away for a guy who's dropping 25 a game? Miss me, y'all want to keep losing.
When the other teams know that's who they got to stop, they're not game planning against Rudy Gobert. Okay, they're game planning against Spida. Period. When he played that team, and he's still getting off.
Player of the year. This is the defensive player of the year, mind you, but he wasn't winning nothing until Donovan Mitchell got there. Explain that to me.
Right.
Rudy Gobert is an overrated defensive player who absolutely brings no offensive game whatsoever.
I tried making this argument so many times. Like, if you look at the pieces that Utah Jazz had around Mitchell, the prospects of our lineup around him is way better than what he had at Utah.
Yeah,
it is. Man for man, look at it. So what is that going to translate to? I mean, it's simple. If you know any of basketball at all, or have any respect for the game and watch it on a regular basis, there's no other narrative you can have.
I agree. It's like people say, "Oh, we're trading away the young core." Wait, do they not realize that you could trade away these 3 young players right now? Get Donovan Mitchell right now. You still got Evan Fournier on the roster. You could go ahead, trade Evan Fournier away. If you care so much about the bench being pulled out, get a star or a player that matches Evan Fournier's production, and then still find a way to get another superstar if you can. Yeah. Because let's be honest, if I hear another Julius Randle slander take, I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah, and people try to, and then there's some people that have that counter argument when I say that journeyman Jordan Clarkson, get the hell out of here with that mess, man.
I love Jordan Clarkson,
but he's all right. But he ain't better than RJ Barrett. No, he isn't.
He's not. If that's the case, I might as well keep Evan Fournier if you want me to trade away to get freaking Jordan Clarkson. What's the difference? It's not a difference.
It's just people trolling, man. That's what it comes down to.
I don't. It's just like,
AD, what's good, bro?
What's going on, Uncle Freezy? And the Knicks panel. I hear there's some very disgruntled.
What's good, AD?
Positive Knicks fans that are out here wanting the Donovan Mitchell trade. There's some blasphemy I heard about Jordan Clarkson, but that's not what we're really discussing here today.
No, Jordan Clarkson like Evan.
Yeah. Jordan Clarkson's better. Jordan Clarkson's better than Evan Fournier. Stop it.
Yeah, no, he's better than him, but I think he ain't even a starter.
No, but I think that the point is the value add. Why trade Jordan Clarkson in something for Jordan Clarkson when you could just keep Fournier? It's a value add proposition, not like why trade in my 2013 car or my the 2017 car and $4,000 for the 2018. I just keep the 2017, bro. I mean,
but one car got less mileage. Jordan Clarkson got less mileage.
Yeah. You know what? You know where that mileage come from, the Hardwell? You know where the mileage come from?
Where?
Playoff games.
So you need the car with a lot of mileage that's gonna last in the playoffs. Okay.
Yeah, someone got highway miles, and someone got in town driving miles.
Or we could flip Fournier. I would agree with that. We probably could flip Fournier for more for a playoff team if we was gonna move Fournier down the line, maybe. Than Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, we need a long wing, man. Like I said, but we talked about it the other night. 3 and D, dude.
Well, isn't that what Cam is?
No.
Yeah, but I would like. Trust me, I want him to develop into that our 6th man. Honestly, That'd be perfect.
Stop saying
but,
develop. We're tiring of developing young players. That's not going to help us win.
Hey, so
but you're
saying
misunderstanding. You're misunderstanding what I'm saying, though. I'm saying if he's going to be left on the roster, I don't mind him staying on the roster. We ain't counting on him for nothing.
No, let him go with Quentin Grimes and Obi and Quickly and them. No, miss me. No.
Okay, that's fine. Trade him, but I'm still. If he's going to stay, I want him to get better. There's nothing wrong with having a team that was winning now and have a couple pieces still getting better in the background. There ain't nothing wrong with that. You ain't got to have 12 set awesome pieces already. I mean,
right.
You're gonna have a couple
Quentin
guys.
Grimes, what did he do for our win record last season?
Oh, I'm all for getting rid of who we got to get rid of.
Hey,
Quickly, he got to go.
Yeah, but
Toppin is inconsistent. He got to go.
So let me give out stats. 24 minutes a game, 6.8 points, 41% from the field goal, 4.4 rebounds, 1.9 assists. Those are hand sandwich numbers, right?
That's not even hand sandwich. That's tuna salad numbers.
Okay.
That's spam.
Hold on. Let me make a point. 2000. All right. Let's go to the second year. 31 minutes per game, 12.7 points, 49% from the field goal, 6.7 rebounds, 2.6. That's the second year. Would you trade that for Donovan Mitchell?
Absolutely.
You know who I'm referring to? Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis.
Right.
So you would trade him for Donovan Mitchell?
Honestly, yes. If that player because you're not telling me the proven player is dropping 25 a game. Giannis was grinding to get to the point where he is at now. And Donovan's not even in his prime yet.
I know. No, I just named the player in his second year. He was putting up ham sandwich numbers in his.
How old was he though? 20.
Right.
It don't matter. It was his first 2 years in the league. And y'all talking about.
But who you comparing him to though?
Right.
You comparing Giannis to who? To McBride, Grimes. That's what he was just talking about.
Right.
So you can't compare those guys to Giannis.
I could not in his first 2 years. I could.
Nah, no.
Somebody said
because we already look. The Bucks already knew
he was a raw project that they knew was going to take a couple of years to physically develop.
Yo, Marquez said he's not even a ham sandwich. He was about to say he was something worse than that.
Nah,
bro.
But there's
tuna salad. I'm not finna sit here and go back with my word. Tuna salad numbers.
Okay. But there's no perspective though.
I was trying to talk, but I'm gonna just mute up, man. Dudes just be cutting people off, letting nobody talk. Man.
Oh, y'all got hard will, but got the
I guess everybody trying to be known now. Everybody want to be known, so they're gonna talk the most. Let me just mute up. I want to hear what I want to make sure I'm listening to something that makes sense, though.
Hey, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Here's my thing real quick.
Who sprinkled salt in Hard Will's coffee, yo?
Nah, I don't need an ad-libber. I don't ad lib. I let people talk. So I was just trying to say something. Even my man Kendu was trying to talk. He got cut off.
Like when I'm saying something, Hard Will just cut me off. And be like, yo, it's Uncle Freezy talking, Hard Will just cut me off and be like, yo, I'm gonna mute myself. Come on, bro.
That's where I got that from. You, Freezy. This ain't my show.
Okay.
This ain't my show. I learned how to be humble over here because it's not my show. So I just wanted to say that so it could be some type of order. Because like you be doing that when somebody about to make their good point, and then it just be like you disagreeing or you ad-libbing on somebody's point and cut them off and they ain't get their point in. So I used to be like that. So I ain't knocking you if you're doing it.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Not you, Freezy. You was muted up all that time, Freezy. We was the ones talking. You was eating something.
Yeah.
Not you.
Okay.
Now it's gonna be mad quiet now. See, go ahead, Kendu.
Nah, man. I was eating pizza with my daughter. I was eating pizza with my daughter.
Nah, go ahead.
Well, we all men here. Just say who it is. Then don't just like put it out there like that.
Or somebody.
Hey, look, Freezy did say somebody's feelings might get hurt. Hey,
I'm here for it, man. I ain't touching like what I want to say to the Giannis point though is people always bring up the Giannis thing about how patient the Bucks was. The Bucks could be patient with Giannis because the year before they drafted a dude with the number 2 pick. I just brought that up, yo. Just brought that up. They could be patient with Giannis because they picked a dude number 2 overall who they thought was going to be the franchise player.
Yep.
The people act like they found Giannis and they thought he was a golden child. They like, nah, this dude a project. We're going to let him develop behind all these dudes that we know are better than him right now.
Uncle Freezy, my point about the Giannis thing was, and I built the stats up because in his first 3 years, he wasn't putting up any real numbers. And I'm comparing it to our young guns. I don't know how they're going to be in the future. Nobody knows. What I do know is this. If Giannis was on the team in his first 3 years, we would be having the same conversation. He's a ham sandwich. Trade him. We don't have time to develop. The Knicks need to develop. That's not our MO. That's all I'm saying.
But you was comparing what to Grimes and them? Because I would think that you would more so say it towards RJ, that being that he's a proven, like not proven, but more of a he's been more of a player versus the other players we've had. And like Giannis in his first 3 years, you said was his numbers. And RJ in his first 3 years, his numbers is way better. But we got people complain, and like so I get what you're trying to say, but I wouldn't compare it to like Grimes and Obi and them though.
Well, but in all respect, Kendall Rivera, why wouldn't I? Because my whole thing about RJ, and you're right, he does put up better numbers in his first 2 years than Giannis. But my whole thing with Giannis is he got the minutes. He got plenty of time to showcase what he could do in his first 2 years. And he didn't
but the offense was different. The offense was catered around him.
So, okay.
And the thing is, Giannis was brought in from overseas, and they knew right from the jump that he was still growing physically. He was a young physical project. He was very raw. So they went into that, drafted him where they drafted him with that mindset, where he was going to stew in the pot for a little while. Like none of these Knicks young guys we drafted had that same, I don't even know the term I'm looking for. They didn't have that same expectation. Like coming in, like, oh, we're going to let him brew for a couple years. Still got some growing to do and all this and that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and there's a video. I don't know if y'all remember, of some vets asking Giannis when they was on the bench. They was like, "Yo, how old are you?" And he was like 19 or something like that. He told them, and they was looking like, "Damn, man, he gonna be next up." So it's a little bit different in that case. And Freezy right, because they had Jabari Parker, who's supposed to be their franchise, supposed to be. So he did have time to develop and all of that.
Yeah, man. It's all these young Steph Curry. Steph Curry had somebody toting the load for him until he got his ankles right.
Yep.
Right? I mean, think about all these. Kawhi played second fiddle to Tony Parker and Tim Duncan and them until he was right. Paul George played second fiddle to Danny Granger and all of them until he got right. But we ask our young dudes to come in and ball from the door. And we think that's going to work. The realist says Cam is the forgotten, no love since he arrived. Shout out to Jersey City, New Jersey, in the building. But yeah, man, we expect Obi and Grimes and McBride and all these dudes to come in and ball from day one. And listen, while I'm not saying be patient with them and give them too long, what I am saying is if man, look, it's as simple as this. These kids are not stars. Go get a star. Or keep on being satisfied with losing. It's as simple as that. Because basketball is not about X's and O's. It's about Jimmys and Joes. The triangle had been around for 40 years before Michael Jordan. And the triangle ain't won nothing. You put Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen in it. You put Kobe and Shaq in it. And all of a sudden, it looks like it's some type of godsend. The pick and roll was around since the late 60s. You put Stockton and Malone in it, all of a sudden, it's the wave. You put Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire in it. Now everybody want to run it. Before that, teams were running post-up plays, low post, inside out, backside cuts. We're not even worried about three-pointers because the big man could score in traffic. Now that bigs can't score in traffic, you need space on the floor, and you create space by shooting the three. It's as simple as it gets. It's basketball. It's not brain surgery. It's not rocket science. It's basketball. It's not always about players. It's about what you're doing with them.
Exactly. Or keep going 37-45 and getting an 8 to 12 pick and then complaining why we can't get a generational player because we're not in the top 3. That's what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you look at the history of draft picks, the percentages of an all-star after the top 3 is minimal. Nothing.
We don't play the fall in the draft.
Yep.
We don't play for them to get low draft placement. We don't sit our players like teams do. And that's what y'all got to pay attention to. So when they talking about the Donovan Mitchell move, you can only be stockpiling picks and these type of players for that type of move, or you're going to do the opposite direction, and they're not showing to do that. So that's the frustration for me, even though I understand the negotiation process. But that's the frustration for me. If you stockpiling and you have these type of players that is a logjam, or they're not ready to just start for us going into the years that they're going in. And it's got a lot to do with the coaching and the plan that the team already had in place of how they played these players. So they're going to continue going that way moving forward. So that just goes to show you need a player who could play like Donovan Mitchell, who fit the description of what the team is trying to do.
I want to say that it's not the reason why I came on the panel, because I feel like I don't see the pushback to the narrative that's being spewed. So I guess I wanted to provide a little bit of a balance to it of people who are pushing back toward the whole we're delusional for not wanting Donovan Mitchell on there, or we're delusional for stockpiling draft picks just to stockpile draft picks. It's not about that. Me personally, I wouldn't mind giving away a bunch of assets, but it has to be for the right players. And it's not a matter of, to me, it's a matter of if Donovan Mitchell is that dude or not. And if he's not that dude, if I don't think he's that dude, of course I'm going to push back against trading for somebody like him. Now, if y'all was talking about a Kawhi Leonard who's healthy, then yeah, I'm not so sure somebody like him can guarantee you a deep run in the playoffs. Donovan Mitchell, not so sure.
Kawhi Leonard, that's like 30.
That's what I was going to say. If you think about Kawhi Leonard in his 4th season, 5th season, is he better than Donovan Mitchell?
I'm all right. So all right. So let me move the goalposts, as y'all would say. I'm talking about.
No, I just wanted to ask you that question, not to cut you off.
You said what?
Do you think Kawhi Leonard was better than Donovan Mitchell in his 4th season?
In his 4th season? No, I don't think so.
So that's just a good example on how fast Donovan Mitchell is taking off. Give you an example on a lot of these players they took a little longer to get to the All-Star games, and things like that. So you just glorifying what they did after all them years, but you got to look at Donovan Mitchell as well as going to have time to get better too. If you're saying that he's better now than Kawhi was at this part of his career, then you would have to give Donovan Mitchell the same credit of getting better as well as the players you saying. You know what I mean? Vice versa. Or even the players you fighting for on our Knicks team they're not progressing as fast as he is. So you can't really compare him to players that you love in the NBA because, a lot of players always say that, bro, we didn't look at them players much being Knicks fans or remember they early on stats. But Donovan Mitchell, someone who's been an all-star all those years already, is an easy way to look at how good he could be 2 to 3 seasons from now when you glorifying players who wasn't there as early on as he was.
Yeah, because technically he ain't even in his prime yet, technically.
Fact.
He's going to get even better.
Let me respond to what Harwell just said real quick. I see what you're saying. What you're saying makes sense. But the way I see it, Donovan Mitchell would never be impactful as a two-way player in the same manner as Kawhi Leonard, no matter how much potential he has or how much.
But how could you say that though?
But how
You
can
don't
you
know.
saying? Hold on, coach. Let me ask him. How
My
can
bad,
you?
bro.
That's all right, coach. How can you say impossible and you just said he was better? You agreed that Donovan was better. So you're not giving Donovan Mitchell a chance to improve. If you could say he was better before Kawhi was, but he'll never be what Kawhi is, that don't make sense to me. If he's already better than Kawhi early on, he has a chance to develop his defense if he's still young. So you would have to reconsider that. If you're saying it's no way possible, you could say, I don't think he would, which I wouldn't disagree with, but no way possible is far-fetched because you agree already that he was better than Kawhi early on. So all you saying is two-way player where he don't add up on the defensive end to you, but if he caught off on the offensive end so early on in the NBA, all he's missing is the defensive side. And most players catch on, like Jimmy Butler and them, vice versa. They caught on the defensive side first because they didn't see them being great offensive players early on. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I do.
I'm just trying to give you a good example on what you're saying and how we breaking it down. That's all. I don't totally disagree with you, but I'm just trying to break down your assessment fairly.
If I would have compared his Donovan Mitchell's defensive potential, it would most likely at the highest. If Rajon Rondo, somebody who was a similar size, not as strong as Donovan Mitchell, but had a similar wingspan, could play stunning defense. Yeah, I think it's possible for Donovan Mitchell to do it. I just don't think that Rajon Rondo's impact on defense, and I'm thinking Rajon Rondo's defense as a point guard is at an elite level, is nowhere the capacity of somebody like Jimmy Butler's when he first came into the league or Kawhi Leonard's.
So let me ask you a question. Let me hop in for a second.
Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. You only believe that the players that you would trade for has to be the upper level two-way players? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what it sounds. They got to be a complete player already. It sounds like, you know.
They got to be upper level two-way players. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If you look at some of the greatest basketball players who've ever played this game, 60 to 70% of them did not care about defense one iota.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was D Wade considered an elite defender?
Okay.
Was D Wade considered a elite defender?
Yeah.
Yes, he was. That's why I asked the
Freezy,
question.
muted.
So let me do
I'm
this
saying
real
at the
quick,
beginning
guys.
of his career, though.
Hey, coach, y'all, let me do this real quick. Hold on.
All right, go ahead.
So Miguel P, thank you for the generous contribution. Miguel P says each drafted player has a developmental window. That's what Miguel. That's the first super chat, right? And Miguel P, again, thank you for your generous contributions. If eval correctly, front office knows window length for each, and that's correct. If you understand what you're looking at, you can estimate what around what time that player will click based on the resources provided for that player. Like, does that player need minutes? See, Giannis didn't need minutes. Giannis needed weight room. Giannis needed weight room. That's what he needed because he was more athletic than most people.
Self-improvement.
Yeah. Giannis needed everything, Freezy. I remember young Giannis. Young Giannis looked like Chris Brown. He needed everything. He was just uber athletic. See, let me just say something for 30 seconds. We have to stop this. Every player that gets drafted in our uniform is not going to hang in the rafters.
Yeah.
Like Frank Ntilikina, all you guys that was Frank Stans and all, and Frank was this, and Frank was the greatest defensive player, and Frank stopped Trey Young, and Frank stopped Trey Young during the Olympics, and blah 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 blah. Like, we gotta stop this, yo. There's only 450 players in the NBA every year, and you got to be the best of the best to be on a roster. This nonsense, like, because we drafted him, we gotta spend 6 years developing him.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a fact.
I agree.
You remember Marseille Lampe? Remember that guy? Marseille Lampe?
No, we don't remember him.
Nah, I don't.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
Nah.
Frank Weiss.
No.
Frederick Weiss. I mean.
No, we don't remember any of them. Jordan Hills, none of them.
Look, Atlanta just cut Sharif Cooper, and they drafted him last year.
You're joking.
And imagine we did that. Oh, why would the Knicks do that? They can't develop and blah blah blah. He just ain't it. That's the problem. He just not it. Bottom line. Sometimes you just gotta let go.
See, that's just like us Knicks fans. We ain't at their training facility. We ain't at their practices.
Right.
Like some of these dudes, they could be pieces of crap for all we know. They might not be all in. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't know that how they are. Like they may be horrible teammates. You know, there's a lot of things we don't know that we think we know because we saw them side eye somebody or he was moping before he sat on the bench.
His high school mixtape.
Yeah, or he dunked on Ben Simmons one game, and now he's the greatest thing ever.
Right. Hey, so Paris Douglas, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Douglas says, look at Donovan highlights. They are all old. Ooh. Now, okay.
And with Donovan Mitchell defense, how do we know that the coach ain't telling him just focus on offense and just do what you can on defense?
Or how do you know the coach is telling them we are not giving up the three, funnel them inside to the best defensive player in the league?
Exactly.
I love how y'all giving context about Donovan Mitchell when it comes to defending him, but when we talk about players like Obi, he's trash. He's trash.
Obi hasn't proven it.
But we defend Obi too.
The difference is though, right? Like Freezy's saying, we trying to acquire talent, right? So in that situation, and like he just read the super chat, what somebody just said, it made a lot of sense, right? The numbers and the proper resources show you what good talent is, right? And we mentioned Spider numbers and all the time he's been an all-star, etc. And I mentioned we don't watch Spider every night like we do as Knicks fans, right? So when you listen to somebody who talk about Spider, who covered his games, that's what some of y'all need to do. And Ron had to do on his show that covered Utah, and he talked about Spider. And that alone tells you that Knicks fans have no idea what Son is going to bring. It's going to be electric to something you probably never saw, my brother. And for you to say Obi or any of these players that can't even crack the lineup over bum players that's playing in front of them, that's bad. Well, I'm not saying you wrong completely for feeling the way you feel, because that's the whole point, I think, of the show topics we be making. Knicks fans are falling in love with players that are who they are. And by now, if you can't see, you know, what we see in players that's not even on our team, that we don't watch by the stats and by them being at the All-Star game or by us just watching what they do around the league, it's a no-brainer. And my last point is,
I used to love some Johnny Newman, bro.
I don't blame you. We had no choice but to love these players because they keep on giving us mediocre talent and they still get in the bag. The seats are still sold out in the Garden, and we loyal fans, I just feel like we deserve better talent in the Garden. And I think we need to stop shooting for players who ain't really shooting for themselves.
I would say this. It's not that I'm being argumentative just to be combative. I'm not even trolling.
No, it's not. It's your opinion, bro. And I know you. I respect you. We talk enough to understand you're not just doing that now. So
right.
I'm just going back and forth with you. And you see how some people I talk to, I don't talk to them like this because I know you. You cool. So
yeah. My pushback is we look at other teams in the league. And, you know, I'm a flawed individual when it comes to talking sports because I don't always look at the stats. And the only reason why I brought the stats up this time around is to see, you know, how they would judge players in their first 3 years just depending on stats.
Hey, but hold on. Okay, but see, I just want to say this real quick. Let me chime in on because I came up here when you say that. Was you the one talking about Giannis?
Bro, you ain't even said hello. You ain't said good morning.
The
You ain't even gonna pass out no
ready to
cigarettes
shoot.
or nothing.
Hey, top of the morning,
Pope, what's good, Frank?
I know it's a jungle in here, so I was trying to get in without cutting nobody off.
Bruh.
Uncle Free, it's a jungle in here. It's a rumble in the jungle, baby.
But man, they let us get a drag on a Newport of that, and he just
Top of the morning, man. Hey, you know what I mean? Everybody.
Puff, give.
Shout out to the chat.
Pope, what's good, bro?
Hey, what's good, fellas? Because I was sitting
Good,
back
Pope.
when I first heard it. I'm like, come on, man, you got to put it in its right perspective. It's like Quentin Grimes' numbers in his first 2 years. First of all, Quentin Grimes not 6'11". Okay, Giannis came in 6'11", just skinny. You can see certain cats got it and just need to develop certain things like their strength. But Giannis had the skill set. He didn't come in as no bum. He averaged 7 points his rookie season. Okay, Gary Payton averaged 6 points. Okay, his next season he averaged 12, almost 13 points. Then skyrocketed up to 17 points his third season. So, and 6'10", and he owned the Milwaukee Bucks where nobody was paying attention to at the time. It's not the New York Knicks.
The
You
Pope.
understand?
And he the Greek freak. What's the Grimes nickname? But go ahead, Pope. My bad.
Hold on. Let me add perspective.
Ham sandwich.
Needs more times, Grimes.
You can tell. Yeah, you can tell Quentin Grimes is not going to be.
I like that one. I like that one.
He's not going to be what Giannis.
You ain't famous till you get a nickname, bro.
What I'm saying is, it's easy. It's easy to say all this stuff after you seen the dude flourish. What I'm saying is Knicks fans. I'm not talking about front office. I'm talking about as far as Knicks fans. I see us saying if we was to get Giannis Antetokounmpo, I can't say his last name like that, or Joel Embiid to where he didn't play in his first 2 years in the league, I could see us having the same conversation. Oh yeah, I don't care if he's talented. The best ability is availability. Get him out of there. I can see, and for y'all to say that, oh yo, it's not fair to compare somebody like Giannis. Look at all this potential that he has. Y'all say that because he flourished. I'm talking about the players that we have.
No. It's not
he didn't
that.
come
It's
in
not
with that
that
expectation, though.
No, did you hear what the Pope said? He said he's 6'. Yo, he made a great point on that. He's saying the upside of his size and how far he wasn't away from doing that, and that's true. That's why I said he was called the Greek freak. He had to earn his name, but you could see the upside in that kid. You know what I'm saying? You got to give Milwaukee Bucks more credit for betting on son. Go ahead, Pope. I didn't mean to jump in on you guys.
No, you're right. You could see it. Like if anybody who know basketball, just same thing with Brandon Ingram. When he came in 19 years old, he's skinny as all outdoors, and he couldn't get to his spots. But he had all the skill set once he got his strength together and can get to his spots. Now Brandon Ingram is an automatic bucket almost. It's like you can't stop him from getting to where he want to get to, I should say. But Quentin Grimes, you look at him, bro, and it's like you can tell in this game he ain't gonna become he not. I could see Giannis early in his game. I swear to goodness, man, I told my cousin, like, bro, this kid in Milwaukee, because every time I see his stat line, I see him play, he almost had a triple-double, even though it'd be 12 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. But you keep seeing that, like, damn, this nigga almost got triple-double he almost got a triple-double on every other night. Like, he gonna be crazy in a minute. Once he get it together, you could tell, bro. So Quentin Grimes, I could tell he's gonna be Quentin Grimes, my guy.
All right,
period. Just real quick.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
So the realist says a profound at heart. Well, that's why RJ don't impress me. He said that minutes ago.
What?
Yeah,
so I guess I got to reply, right?
So he said, Antoine Belo, thank you for the generous contribution. He says, who's the last Knicks point guard to win a championship for the Knicks? That was Clyde Frazier.
I want to reply to homeboy. Homeboy, what was his name, Freezy? The Nicka? The realest Nicka?
No, that's Chilltown. That's Chilltown.
Okay,
that's his other name. That's Chilltown.
Reply to him. Yo, bro, send another super chat and tell me who your favorite player is in the NBA and what was his first 3 averages.
Exactly, and the thing is, all the people
favorite player in the NBA with his first 3 averages, and then I bet you it take you a while to reply or send a super chat again.
Yep, And the thing is, everyone's so quick to compare RJ to, and every name they say, they all started.
Okay, bro.
They all started with a whole different crew around them, and a way better support cast. All the guys you're going to try to bring up,
and less numbers, right, Coach?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. They quick to say whatever, and they ain't doing research.
I just want to point out,
RJ was thrown to the wolves, and he was never even given the keys to the car. Okay.
I just want to point out Bradley Beal didn't average what he was. He wasn't Bradley Beal till like his 4th or 5th year. I just want to point that out.
And see, y'all proving my point then about our young kids.
Nah, you got a point, but the Giannis one just wasn't a good one because of Giannis's upside. That's all, bro.
All right, Harwood, I'll give you that. That's a great point. But what about Reddish and his upside? And having more.
That's between Cam and Tibbs. If Cam can't get past Tibbs, I can't explain Cam's problem. Cam was on the ESPN list. He played for Duke. I don't know that. That's a mystery if you ask me. If he can't get past
for all his talent, he always been at every time you see Cam Reddish on a team, he always like the 3rd or 4th fiddle. And people say he should be number 1, but he never ascend to that. This is not new. This is not a Knicks problem. Right. This is an Atlanta Hawks problem. This ain't a Duke Blue Devils problem. This is a Cam Reddish issue.
problem.
Rodney Rogers.
All I'm saying is this. All I'm saying is this: when we bring up players like Giannis, y'all want to throw up upside. That's cool. I get that. And my beef is not with the front office. I can't control what they do. But what I will say is this: I'm listening to what a lot of y'all saying on the panel. Like, y'all defend Giannis because of his upside, but most of y'all are ready to trade Cam Reddish because, he got upside, but he's always injured. Like what stance are y'all taking? What do y'all stand on?
Huh?
What?
Yeah,
I could have sworn you said availability was an ability earlier.
No, I said people say the best ability is
that is okay. So that is very true. That's a true statement.
I want to keep Cam personally.
But we're talking about a dude. We're talking about a dude on his rookie contract.
But Freezy just gave it to you real smooth. He just told you, bro. He has been who he is. He was he was ranked in the rankings with RJ Barrett and Zion going back and forth as number 1 in the nation at high school. But when he got to Duke, you seen what he was. He got to Atlanta Hawks, you seen what he was. He got to New York Knicks, you see what he is. So come on, bro. You gotta see what he is.
Yeah. But the thing is, we don't the way we acquired him and what we acquired him for, we're not any positive thing that comes out of Cam Reddish is a win. So we're not losing anything by keeping him, and we're not, we can only gain if he develops how he should. You know what I'm saying?
And to be honest with you, man, this whole party of 5 argument for cats that ain't doing nothing is just a waste of time, bro. Either you doing it or you ain't. Either you a dog or you not. You know what I'm saying? I know Cam got talent. Right? But is he showing it? And then plus the argument and plus the thing too, the most important thing, which is more important than anything, is the Knicks need to win. They play a sport where winning is paramount and they're losing. And you want to continue going down this losing path, hoping that a guy is going to turn into something when you could just take that guy and go get something? Nah.
But Freezy, we're not talking about giving up one guy. We're talking about giving up a few guys plus a bunch of picks for something.
Giving up 10 guys.
You just said it. Look what you just said. A few guys.
Yeah. And think about those guys that you get. Those guys that you're giving up. Are they
not a
something?
Few all-stars?
Are those guys you giving up something right now?
No. I would say this, Freezy. I'm not going to sit there and say that Donovan Mitchell by himself makes more of an impact than a combination of 4 different guys.
Bro, is Donovan Mitchell something?
Yeah, he's something.
Is he the top 10 best guards in the league?
The guys that you have right now are nothing. And you are talking about giving up something for nothing and complaining about it.
Don P didn't want Brunson neither. Don P, you didn't want Brunson neither, bro.
No,
Is Donovan Mitchell a top 10 guards in the league?
And we got to start
Yes.
acquiring talent. That's all.
Don P.
That's all. I agree with that.
Because no matter how much, because Hardwell can say all the elaborate stuff to his 10 or 12 players, all he want, and he can get the whiteboard and draw the most intricate offensive design, all he want. But if he ain't got Jimmy's and Joe's, all he was doing was wasting time.
And that happens to me all the time. I wanted to say that earlier, Freezy, when you was talking about that coaching thing. When I got players who don't get heart, and then when some of my players that play for like other AAU teams, they don't be there all the time. They be
right.
And when they come back, I gotta play them over those kids because it's the heart factor and the skill. And that's the same thing with Freezy talking about. And even the kid that is behind, he'll still be good, get a scholarship and all of that, but he's not going to be better than that kid because of the heart and the things that he's lacking on the talent level. And that's what even the Pope just was mentioning. When you see talent and you can see it, you know what I mean? You're not going to keep on like trying to vote for somebody that ain't being able to do it in NBA minutes. You know what I mean? And the team is going in a different direction when you comparing our Knicks situation. You know what I mean? So we can't sit here and shoot for these guys when they're not going to get the opportunity on this Knicks team that they really need to develop properly to be the player that you predict them to be.
Well, let me ask you this.
Sure.
How often? Well, let me read the super chat first. I'm gonna read the super chat first, and then I'm gonna get out of the way for a few minutes to do a work related thing, man. Right? Hey, y'all, and if a super chat come up, somebody just read the super chat and address it real quick. I'm gonna just shoot off a couple emails real quick. But Neville Humphreys, thank you for your generous contribution. Neville Humphreys says, "What about Steph Curry? Most on this panel would have traded Steph Curry already. Stand your ground, Don P." But nah, that's not true, bro.
That's not the case.
Again, there were dudes playing. What about Monte Ellis? When y'all make these points, do y'all not know that these guys that become superstars play behind somebody first? Right? And the team recognized that they have superstar potential. And so
the game has changed since then as well. Again, the game has changed again, and players are learning even faster and doing more things even faster. Look at Trae Young. Trae Young is going to break Curry records because he's coming in the league doing it faster. So when y'all mention Curry, you got to look at the process of what Curry went through his whole scenario. And then you got to give the Warriors credit for betting on him because, like the Pope said, they seen his talent. We don't have a Stephen, like y'all reaching with that.
Right.
Like I could see if we was about to trade RJ, and some of y'all hate on RJ. So that's another great point. Y'all dogged a little bit of talent that we have, right? The real talent where the numbers back it up and the proof shows through this kid's career. Not just as a Knick, through this kid's career from high school to college, ESPN 100 list, all of that. People, you guys, a lot of you guys don't know about that stuff, but you dogging them out. Like, look at the guy who did the super chat. I asked him to go and tell me who his favorite player was.
Still ain't said it.
And tell me his numbers, and he hasn't came back yet. He didn't even write it in the chat for free because it ain't nobody there.
Look at Kobe. Kobe didn't even come in like that. Garnett never came in like that.
So my last point on that is you cannot
come in like
dog
that.
out the player on the Knicks team that's showing signs of doing something, and y'all shooting for the player who ain't even getting the opportunity. So obviously he ain't got no signs because anybody should have been able to earn run on that last year's Knicks team. Right. I don't care how bad you want to talk about Tibbs.
Especially
and
after
I don't like Tibbs, but the player got to take some type of accountability. Like, I'm going to get in that roster. That roster has no superstars, no all-stars on it, and you can't crack that. Stop it.
And then the organization recognized stars from the giddy up. Like when the Lakers drafted Kobe, they had an all-time great in Byron Scott. They had a current all-star in Eddie Jones.
And
you know what they said to those two dudes? We need y'all to mentor Kobe because he's the future.
The future.
They told a current all-star, Eddie Jones, hey, y'all got to mentor this kid because he's the future. Byron Scott won championships playing the same position as Kobe with Magic Johnson. You know what they told Byron Scott? Yo, y'all got to mentor this kid Kobe because Kobe the truth. And we sit up here talking about Quentin Grimes.
Quentin
Crazy.
Grimes.
And they told him, make sure y'all don't renew your leases or none of that, because you're out
None of that.
too.
The star of summer league.
You out of here.
Matter of fact, they made Eddie Jones change his number. Y'all remember Eddie Jones used to wear number? Y'all remember Eddie Jones wore number 25? They made him Eddie Jones changed his number. They put Mitch Cut. That was Mitch Kupchak. It was like, Eddie Jones, I'm sorry, bro, but not only that, you wearing Mitch Kupchak old number, we gonna retire it. You gotta change your number. Yo, come on, bro. This is
Would
real
y'all trade?
stuff, man.
Would y'all trade Spicy P for Donovan Mitchell and Spicy P's third year?
Who is Spicy P?
Siakam.
Siakam.
Hey, Greeny, can you read the super chats when they come up, bro?
I thought that was somebody else with Spicy P. I thought it was the dude that was on the Lakers.
Oh, you're talking about Swaggy P.
Swaggy, my bad.
Siakam's cloud has kind of fallen off already to me.
Yeah.
Like people ain't all up on him like they were. Like he was really something when he had Kawhi with him.
But again, they got rid of everybody to build around him. So it's different.
No, they really didn't know. They
got Kawhi, and then Kawhi left, and then what did they do?
Thank you. They didn't plan on losing.
And then Lowry was gone.
Yeah, they shouldn't have. Kawhi shouldn't, because that's just how Kawhi is. But he should have stayed there.
Kawhi got that Darrell Reeves mindset.
And so that's who they was going to plan.
Y'all want to hear? Yo, what's up, everybody, man?
Yo, what up, Eddie?
What's up?
What up,
bro, man? Just want to say what's up to everybody, man. Just chiming in. Just coming back from a little vacation. Still on vacation from the job, so I just want to. But to the guy that said that Spicy P fell off, you want to hear his numbers for last year, yo?
I didn't say he fell off. I said the excitement about him. Like
I didn't even know who Spicy P was, so I passed.
No, see,
you want to hear his numbers?
You twist him. No, I don't. I know his numbers.
All right,
but go ahead. You can say them, but they got to change. What I'm saying is, people thought he was gonna get into that superstar status. They were all up on him like that, and to me, that expectation has fallen off. It doesn't say he doesn't have good numbers, and he's not an all-star.
I would take
all-star and stratosphere.
I would take Spicy P or whatever you want to call him right now.
Spicy pause.
Right, that's what it sounds like. I don't like that nickname.
But
you said over Julius Randle? Well,
I would take him over Julius Randle right now.
I would too. How old is he?
It's the same age.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, his game fits what we got going on. Yeah,
it more than fits.
Don't get me. But that's how what the argument here is.
No, but I asked that
argument. No, but no, I was just because you said the excitement or however you wanted to reword it was that Pascal Siakam.
Yeah, but why was he brought up in the first place? That's what I'm saying. Like, why did they bring him up?
See, I brought him up in the first place to prove once again because his numbers in his first 3 years, I'm gonna call it for what it is. It's scam sandwich numbers. But what I'm saying is, when we talk about our young players, we don't know what they're going to do in the future. Right?
Did Siakam come in?
He was the number one option. He was the number one option, though, right?
I agree with that.
But Siakam wasn't brought in with the same expectations and given the same shoddy help that RJ had.
Yeah, like nobody heard of
organizations
like maybe the year before they won the championship. You started hearing Siakam name, but before that, you wasn't hearing Siakam like that.
The organizations are very different too. Like Toronto Raptors organization is known for developing players. Like they develop second round players. They
small market
undrafted players into all-stars, right? So when you compare, I wouldn't compare. Toronto is kind of like in a league of their own when it comes to that, because Siakam right now, he's a ready-made player. They made him into that, They brung this kid in, Scotty Barnes. He has so much talent, and he can become, one of the best 5'2" players. Putting a baseball term into it, in the NBA, a man that can do everything: rebound, push the ball, get assists, who could score, who could shoot, who can lead your defense, who can lead your offense. So in that sense, yeah, man. But you know, I agree with Don P with his point though, man. Like sometimes you just got to give the players a little time, even though they don't look a certain way. You know, that obviously you're gonna get top players that have the measurables, because I think that's what we're talking about. I think we're just
Eddie,
talking about the
It's a bad
measurables.
comparison though.
But
To
see,
me,
but
you know
But
why?
let me finish.
But
Right.
Siakam
I didn't
did.
even make a point. I didn't even make a point. I'm just talking. You know, the
Yeah,
measurables
but
make
who
you.
did Toronto bring in though to make those things come to fruition? The
I'm not
developing
talking
players.
about. I'm
They
talking
brought
like
in
in
Kawhi.
general. No,
Yeah,
like
make your point.
he
Make
was
your
he
point.
was already. The measurables is like, I think what makes us go in awe when you're looking at a player, you know, that he's 6'11", that he has these wingspan, that he has these unimaginable things that other players don't have, and they're still young and they're raw and they need to get to a certain point. But not everybody comes to that. You know what I'm saying? People have to build up to certain things like that, man. And
Yeah, but none of the guys we have are
Yeah,
that.
that's what I was gonna say. So
but
how is
there's a
that
lot of players that are not like that. Kevin Middleton, just for an example, just popped into my mind. He wasn't like that
Kevin.
when what
I know what you
what's
meant.
his
Just
name? What's his
your
name? What's his name?
example is not good.
What is his name?
The example
Right.
is not
Chris.
good for
That's it.
Siakam or Giannis. The point is not a good example because those teams, the teams that's whoever run the team and make the decision, they betted on those guys for a reason, bro. And y'all talking about players on our team that didn't even earn minutes. That's not a good comparison, bro.
But I didn't know
That's
that
what we was
comparison
talking
was
about. You said you
I
agree
just
with what he
came in.
said, and then you
I know
brought up.
I agree with Don P. Hold on a second, Will. I agree with Don P in the sense that there's certain players that come into the league and the numbers is not, you know,
Yeah, we all agree
crazy
with
numbers.
that. But we're talking about the
Right.
Knicks guys.
So why we
Man.
But
so
you
hard
gotta
on
give them
RJ?
time,
So
and once they get time, they start getting better in their numbers. Like there's a person in
Carl,
Quentin Grimes, right? There's right now he has ham sandwich numbers. That's what you want to say?
yes,
So
There's
why
a
do you
does
talk
have
the way you
sandwich
do
numbers.
about RJ then, Eddie? And why did
why
you want to trade all of those guys for like a player like Ivy in the draft that we don't know if he could get injured and not play again?
I
The
like
same players you speak of now that you want to give time.
Yeah,
but nobody
I
want to give RJ time.
wanted Jaden Ivey because I liked everything about him. I liked his measurables and I liked his family background. There was a lot of things that I liked about Ivy.
No, I like him too, but I'm just saying in reference to the players that you saying give time to. But how do we go from
right
giving
now,
them up to giving them time? That's what I'm saying.
If
This
you
man
ask
just
me
said
would I
his family
trade
background.
RJ Barrett for Donovan Mitchell, I would be more hesitant to do that. I would be more
Okay.
hesitant to do that. Even though Donovan Mitchell is a ready-made player, you know, but for some reason there's a difference in age there, and it's just I would be more hesitant to do that.
So let me ask you a question. Is it a difference between RJ and the other players that we were just speaking of? Because we were saying that
Give me an
RJ is
example
not.
of who you were speaking of.
I mean, who you speaking of, Don P? When you say give a chance to, because we not moving RJ. So if you guys are saying y'all agree with each other as far as not giving guys a chance to develop in who they are, when you guys are mentioning guys like Curry, Giannis, Siakam, I don't even see nobody on our roster that you have the right to do that.
Yeah.
To compare in that same conversation. And Eddie, you just said you agree, so I wanted you to make sense out of it for me then.
Well, the only player that I see that can probably get to that certain type of level would be RJ Barrett.
So what are we talking about here? Because RJ wasn't in that conversation.
Yeah,
RJ's not in the deal.
trade conversation.
RJ's not in the deal.
So
And we said
we talking about Quentin
Can I
Grimes,
respond?
and we talking about Obi Toppin, and we talking about
we can talk about whoever. I'm just trying to see where y'all agree that for it to make sense to me.
I'm agreeing that you got to give players a certain time. Like there was a moment in the chat where
certain time.
Freezy, hold on a second. There was a moment in the chat where Freezy said that not everybody gets to the level, or if a person is gonna pop at a certain time. Like I think that Quentin Grimes is gonna be a good player this year. You know what I'm saying? I think he's gonna be a good player. I think he's gonna move the needle a little bit this year. Obi Toppin, I think, is another one that's gonna pop this year. For some reason, I feel like Emmanuel Quickly might not be there this year, maybe until next year. But I think Obi Toppin and Quentin Grimes are two players that we're not expecting to be good on our roster.
Okay, let's nip it in the bud.
A lot.
let's nip it in the butt. Do you think any of the guys you just mentioned is going to be like a Giannis Antetokounmpo or be like a Siakam or a Stephen Curry?
I think if you give Obi maybe this year and the next year, he might get to a Siakam type level.
So we got to lose for 2 years for him to develop?
And he'll be 27 years old.
Right.
He'll be 26.
You got to make it make sense, bro. That's all I'm saying. I don't agree with that.
The age doesn't matter like that. Like, he's still young. It's not like he's.
How could the age not matter? How could the age not matter? And we talking about Spider Mitchell, who already is the 4-time All-Star, already averaging them points. And just like I told Don P earlier, the same time y'all saying give those guys time to develop or be better, the same players we speaking of is going to get better too. So how's them players going to catch that player? And that's what the whole conversation is based upon, us getting better and not holding on to players who still trying to prove who they are, reference to a player who's already proven to the whole NBA, not just Knicks fans, to the whole NBA by becoming an all-star and averaging 20 points per season already. And now we got guys saying what guys can be.
All right, so
give these guys minutes on a team that's not rebuilding. They trying to win now. You can tell by the moves that they make. And we saying give these guys a chance to do what? Fight for bench minutes?
Okay, so I just want to get on the same page with y'all because it looks like I came in a little bit late and you guys were onto something. So, I don't want to jump in there. Huh?
I want a chance to
let Don P reply now because you already replied like you knew the subject and you said some points that didn't.
I guess I'm not on the same page as y'all.
Yeah, I'm gonna go after Don P. But let Don P go ahead.
All right. So what I'm saying, the reason why I brought Siakam into this conversation is because, like, Kendall Rivera said, we didn't even know who Siakam was until recently, and that's my point.
Until you got Kawhi.
Hold on, in his first 3 years, he was a ham sandwich. And my overall point is not what the front office is doing. It's about what the narrative is around the fan base of the Knicks. That's my point. Like, if we was to get these guys on the roster, we will be talking about in their third year. You know what? They ham sandwiches. Trade them, because I'm not seeing this. It's very, very few NBA players, and I include Zach LaVine in this. That's putting up any real numbers in their first 3 years. It's rare. And we're talking about trading away players that we really don't know about. And when you talk about, well, who's cracking the rotation, we're not going to act like politics is not involved in this. We're going to act like it's straight due to talent. We're not going to act like when Gibbs pulled Obi Toppin out for making mistakes, he does the same thing to Randall. He don't do the same thing to Randall. It's politics.
I agree with you.
Yeah, but Harwell made a point though. He made a point though about those guys you're talking about that had time to develop. They didn't have a lineup where they had a chance to crack the lineup and get minutes and cook. Like they were brought in with the expectation already that they were going to be given time like that. Last year when we couldn't do that anymore and we had to put them in and play them, they didn't show potential. Those guys, even though they didn't put up the numbers per se, they were always showing those flashes of, damn, he's going to turn into something. Like, can we say that about these three guys?
Hold on,
hey, Miguel P, thank you for the super chat, man.
Read the super chat.
I think everyone. Miguel B, thank you for the generous contribution. Miguel P says, I think everyone agrees Donovan Mitchell is an upgrade. The question is, are the Knicks ready to consolidate certain players? Tibbs made it hard for fans to know for sure.
My thoughts.
That's a great super chat.
Can I jump on this one?
Sure. Come on.
Okay. So, Harwell, this is Chilltown. I want to address what you said as well as this super chat that just came in.
All right.
I always root for the underdog. My whole life I've been that way. So when it comes to us talking about RJ, everybody loves the Rudy story. Everybody knows that RJ is not it. RJ has been given the red carpet since he came into the NBA.
Well, don't say everybody. I don't think that.
Okay, most people, my thoughts is RJ was given the red carpet since he came into the NBA. Everybody loves a Rudy story. I'm always rooting for the underdogs. However, RJ is not it. He's a piece to be on a team. I love his work ethic. I love what he brings to as far as his competitiveness. I love that. But when it comes to the game of basketball, RJ is not a number one. He may be a number two. We keep saying potential with him. Oh, he's going to get better this year. But nobody knows what RJ is going to turn into. And as far as the other members on the team, when it comes to what we're all talking about, the reason we're having these conversations back and forth is because Tibbs sabotaged the team last year. He intentionally didn't play quickly at point guard. He intentionally didn't play McBride at point guard because they knew they were getting Brunson and they didn't want one of them to shine so that Brunson could not come here because that's his stepson, whatever it is. But Cam has been treated like a redhead stepchild since he got here. What NBA player wants to come to the team and they didn't show him no love from the beginning? And the reason we're having these conversations back and forth is because Tibbs sabotaged the team. He did not play players that he should have played when he should have played them. So we can go back and forth and say what RJ is and what he's going to be. Yes, he has fortitude or that willingness to step up and want to be a leader, and he shows those qualities. That's all great. But talent wins games. And if you're not willing to play the people on your team so we know what we have, then how can we evaluate any of these players? You can evaluate RJ because he's been given substantial time. But these other players, we can't truly evaluate them because Tibbs sabotaged the team. So
Cam been on this team for 15 minutes. Hold on. Well, let me get a little bit of this one.
You said my name, but go ahead.
All
bro.
right. First of all, I knew this was coming because you had a Cam picture in your thing.
No doubt.
I knew this was coming. 1, 2. Who's closer to being an all-star? Who has more potential to be an all-star? Cam or RJ?
Cam.
Yeah.
On what?
What?
On what proof? On what proof?
Put Cam out there the same amount of minutes you put RJ out there, and I'm guaranteeing that he will shine better, more production. And listen, I know we said
Cam gets hurt.
Oh, okay, you say that, but there are players that have been hurt in the beginning of their careers that have gotten better. So if RJ gets hurt next year and then he gets hurt continually after that, then what?
I don't think RJ
was hurt last year and still put up 20.
Exactly. He still played through his injury, even though he probably should have. But I'm gonna let my man's get in, yo. How well? I'm gonna tag you in, brother.
He's been given the reins.
I don't know about that.
Shieldtown, thanks for joining the panel. Salute. Nice to meet you. It's hard for you to just say Cam could do better than RJ and he don't really have no minutes to prove it. Another thing is, tell me what NBA player that you like in the league that averaged more than RJ in his third year of the league.
The answer to that question, Hartwell, I have not dug into the statistics. I heard your question. Reason being, hold on. Reason being, there's a lot of factors to play into that. Once again, RJ was shoved into the lineup. RJ has been given the spotlight. So other players on other teams, it depends on what situation you go into.
But that's why I said that's why I asked you any player just to show you that that's something that's not easy to do. And regardless how you feel about someone, right? You still and you like Cam, you got Cam on your thing, and you just said Cam is gonna do better, but he's not even playing. So the point we're making to you is that he would have to play and show some numbers before that could be realistic. Because no matter how much you don't like a player or you love a player, they stats is what define what they doing. You know what I mean? So no matter if my son or my cousin, my nephew is in the NBA and it's another player with stats over him, I can't say just because I love him that he's better than them. That don't make sense.
So the only reason I say that, Hardwell, is because I see what Cam can do when he's on the floor. And that could go for any other player on the Knicks. And I go back to my original point. The reason we're having these conversations and we don't know for sure is because Tibbs sabotaged the team.
So you saying Tibbs didn't want to win?
Sabotage the team.
Yo, that's
Tom
crazy.
Thibodeau
Heard that before.
sabotage the team.
You tell me.
I can't believe that
Conspiracy
theories.
Yo, did you see Freezy eyes? Yo, did you see Freezy eyes when he said that? I said I'm gonna give Freezy about 2 more minutes. If he said that again,
because I heard somebody say that Tibbs didn't play Emmanuel Quickly at point guard.
I said that.
Right.
Or Deuce McBride.
So what I have right here on the screen is
it wasn't even sure they was gonna get Brunson.
Proof that what you said is false. It's proof. Like I'm not gonna say you wrong. I'm gonna provide a source.
Okay. So do a comparison what that number means for us.
Okay.
Some people might not know what that number means compared to another player. Like,
okay, let me say this.
Go ahead. Jersey City, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, Snyder.
Guard, and he intentionally did not start Deuce McBride at point guard. Regardless if you guys feel like they were ready, we're taking the word on Tibbs for everything. During the season, when all this stuff was taking place, what he was doing, there was no rhyme or reason for some of Tibbs' actions. And you can say he's the coach. I get that. I'm not a coach. But this last season was chaotic and moronic, some of the things he was doing. And if you can explain why he played Burks all that time as starting point guard, besides he gives us the best chance to win, which is idiotic, then I'm listening.
What about his decisions the first year? He just decided the second year he's going to sabotage?
And how do we know we getting Brunson though? To do that to your team?
Work to bring Brunson here. That was their intention. Just like you guys say, when they came aboard, they had a plan to get Donovan Mitchell. They had a plan to bring Brunson here as well. And it all, if you look at what is taking place, it all makes sense to me anyway.
So if you were a coach, you would do that, sabotage your team
exactly, bro.
To bet that you're gonna get Brunson and not even sure if Brunson's gonna come here, because that's really up to Brunson at the end of the day.
So explain why he would have done the things he did last year.
I mean, listen, everybody on this panel that know me and the chat that know, I was the first person yelling fire Tibbs, and everybody thought I was crazy. So for me to just not agree with you, that's because that's taking it too far. That's taking it way too far, because look, if Tibbs don't get wins and start doing the right thing, he's going to get fired. So basically, I understand that he was trying to get as many wins, and he put Burks there. He made a lot of decisions of playing guys that's not going to be on the roster in the future. But I don't think he was trying to sabotage or like not let guys play so we could see that Brunson is going to still, because Quickly is not going to play over Brunson anyway. Quickly would still be a backup if we was to keep Quickly, because that's what his game looked like to me. So that doesn't make sense to say if you would have played him at the point that Brunson wouldn't come, or he trying to keep a spot open for Brunson. Nah, that's taking it too far, bro.
So yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree. There might be a philosophy difference, or he might not be the right man for the job in the end, or the way he runs the operation. But the flat out sabotage or not play people because of all these conspiracy theory stuff, man, that's too far. That's just talking rhetoric for people that A, never coached a day in their life themselves, or B, never played an organized sport at a high level.
Coach, he could say Cam. Coach, he could say they didn't play Cam because Tibbs said he didn't want Cam. Now, if you want to say you believe some of that, then I could probably.
So why would you believe that?
That's your opinion. No, I'm giving you a way where if you say something like that, then it has some significance behind it. But you can't say that he put Burks there just so Quickly didn't want to prove himself, and he made Quickly a point guard. So I wouldn't want to basically put that on his name.
And how do we say that, bro? How do we say that? And Tibbs, you saw Emmanuel Quickly's usage rate according to statmuse.com, right? You saw it, 22.2%, right? That means Quickly was being used, right? And then now on the screen, you see the most offensive, a point guard friendly offensive system in the NBA, the pick and roll. Right? That means that, a handler gets to handle the ball and make decisions based on him getting a screen somewhere on the floor. Right? And the Knicks are 5th but yet we say Tibbs
with boo guards, you still were fifth.
Yeah, right. Yet we saying that Tibbs didn't want to use quickly.
Is starting and coming off the bench two different things?
Okay, I would say yes.
Is quickly a starter in your eyes?
Well, let me. This is interesting. I'd love to see where this is going. Like,
so ask him that question, Freezy. Is quickly a starter in your eyes, my brother?
I wouldn't say he's a starter, but I wouldn't say he's not a starter because I haven't seen him in the starting lineup.
Okay, so why bring up the question then?
What question are you talking about?
You said that he should be starting over Burks. That was
he's been in the finishing lineup quite a bit though.
What I said was, please explain to me how Tom Thibodeau, who a lot of people were championing for, with the ironic lineup, substitutions, everything he was doing last year, explain to me why he would not play the point guards that he had on his team who they drafted to be point guards, and why he would play Alec Burks, well, however 60-something games, however many games he started.
Yeah, 48 games.
And my thought process on that is because, once again, I believe they had a plan from the moment they all came in here together.
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
To get Brunson, to go for Donovan Mitchell, and they did not want to put the people who are designated as point guards in that position, because if they shined, then there was no end for Brunson.
Hold on, let me say one thing. But you just said that you feel like he's not a starter anyway, or you're not sure if he's a starter.
No. So, I say it once again because Tibbs didn't allow him to start. A lot of the players on our team, we don't even know what they're capable of because Tibbs did not play them. Nobody played in position. Why did nobody play in position?
Are you at practice though? Are you at their practices?
Hold on one thing. I understand what you're saying, but I asked you, was quickly a starter? And you said no.
No, I said I don't know. I don't know because he has not been put in that position.
No, either or.
Yeah, but you're not confident enough to say that you want him to start.
No,
that's the whole point I think we was trying to make.
Here's what I'll say. Okay, here's what I'll say. I would have started him last year to find out if he was a starter going forward. Because once again, we were not playing for anything, and the moves that Tibbs was making was idiotic.
Yeah, but starting the season, it wasn't.
We weren't playing for anything. We were on the edge of the playoffs.
Man, stop that. Stop that. Stop.
I'm gonna tell you why quickly didn't start. Because as a coach, you need somebody with fire off. Your sixth man need to be just as good as your starters, if not a little bit better. He need to come in with that hype, man. He got to come in. So quickly, who you got coming off your bench that's gonna give you buckets and keep it popping? If it's not quickly.
Nobody, because Derrick Rose was hurt.
So you need that. Nobody complained when Jamal Crawford or Lou Williams came in. They knew they could start almost anywhere in the league. But they needed a firecracker to come off your bench. I'm
like Jordan Clarkson.
I know.
And that was quickly. Fact.
So I got a question though. Did we not need to evaluate our entire team last year to know what position they were able to play? Was that not the case last year?
I mean, it depends on how you're looking at it, because the team was fighting for the play-in all the way until they said they couldn't make the play-in. So what you got to pay attention to is what the team.
That's what I meant by the edge.
Not what the fans think or the fans say or do. Look at what the team is doing, and they trying to win now. And that was early, if you was listening, when I said the guys that you voting for, they need to be on a team that's not trying to win now like the Knicks are, where you're not going to get enough minutes to play. Because think about it. It could be your opinion to say he didn't get enough minutes to show who he is, or Tibbs practice. And like we saw Grimes in the summer league, they're looking better, but are they starters? Are they gonna fill in and fit what we're trying to do as a team right now? And it don't look like. So that's why we're saying move these guys in reference to developing, because the upside that they need is on a different team where they're gonna just let them play through their mistakes.
Yeah, and they have the patience for that.
But you guys, and I understand that you guys talk about stats a lot. Just to hit the nail on nail on the head one more time. Bring up. You guys have looked at and analyzed and dissected Burks' stats as a starter. Who on this panel can say that I've looked at Burke stats as a starter that he should have been in the starting lineup?
Good, Ron.
It was nobody else. Like he just mentioned, Quickly was a better player for us coming off the bench, right? And once they moved Kimba, he didn't put McBride there, so he chose to put Burke there. So I just broke down for you either the sacrifice of development or winning now. And the coach and the team showed you they trying to win now, how they develop, how they did Obi, how they did McBride, in that same situation you speak of with Burks. These are all signs showing you that they don't have the patience for these guys, and these guys aren't really ready.
But the guys we had starting were not performing. Like, at what point, I get that we're going to play to win and I'm going to play what's comfortable to me. But once again, I guess all my frustration really goes back to Tom Thibodeau. Because, like I said, I'm not going to beat up on these players. But because of the moves that Tom Thibodeau made or didn't make last year, that is why a lot of Knicks fans across the internet are having these discussions, because Tom Thibodeau sabotaged the team, whether you guys agree with me or not.
You would have played McBride at your point after you just saw McBride in the NBA Summer League where players had no NBA minutes. You would have played McBride at your point.
I would have done a lot of things differently.
No, I'm asking you specifically. Would you have played McBride at your point?
Yes, I would have put McBride. McBride couldn't even get in there during the last 10 games of the season. I would have been played McBride.
Because McBride is a ham sandwich. Stop.
Okay, regardless of that, RJ is a ham sandwich.
See, that's the problem with me. That's the problem with me. You a Cam fan and you say RJ's a ham sandwich, and then you vote for players who ain't even cracking the lineup. So, for instance, right, how can we jack players? Hold on, listen. You saying Tom Thibodeau's the worst, right? But you want to give the players the benefit of the doubt. So my thing is, if I'm in Tom Thibodeau position, I'm coaching, I need players to help me win. So that don't really make sense to me. Like,
Cam ain't gonna help you win? Cam ain't gonna help you win?
No, I'm not. We're not talking about Cam. Cam was injured, and I told you that would have been the best example you could have used as far as when Cam got brought there, the news broke that he didn't want Cam and he didn't play Cam. I would have said, cool, that's your opinion. But as far as you saying he's sabotaging for them other guys to block the minutes, I can't jack that. I think them guys should have had to earn the minutes and get on the court by what they showed the team what they could do, not off of our opinion, imagining what they can do. Because I know these guys in college. I watched these guys in college. McBride is not a top draft pick. That's what y'all be forgetting, I think. Grimes is a top draft pick. Grimes is supposed to come out of the draft the year before when he went to Kansas and he wound up going to Houston another year. So you got to understand. You got to understand the position of all these players before we start capping the way we do. If you did, then you
your mic go. Hey, Hardwell, your mic going in and out. Hardwell, your mic going in and out.
So back to the coaching.
Miguel P. Thank you for the generous contribution. Miguel P. says some of JR dragging on D was fatigue from overuse. I think I kind of agree to that. I think it kind of. Well, Hardwell disappeared. His mic was going in and out. I don't know what was going on with that.
I just want to point out that players like LeBron and Kawhi and all them was hyping up RJ. And but so you're gonna tell me they don't think he's a ham sandwich. I just don't understand
politics, man.
What's what's the politics of them co-signing RJ? What do they get out of that?
Okay, but besides the determination, Hardwell, what is RJ good at? Besides muscling to the basket, what is he good at?
What? He's not elite at anything, but he's good at enough. He's good at rebounding. Can't tell me he's not a good rebounder for a guard or wing player, whatever he is. He can see the floor. Yes, he makes stupid decisions but every young player does. Yes, he can pick his spots better, like every young player will. So why is it that we acting like RJ is a finished product? He's shown more potential than anybody on this team outside of Randall.
Okay.
The reason, Hartwell, I said you made a profound statement.
It's Kendall, not Hartwell.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hartwell disappeared. I think he got
Hartwell, the reason I said you made a profound statement in the beginning, and this will address you too, Kendall, is that we love RJ because he's one of our own. regardless of his flaws, regardless of how good he is not at things, we still want to pump him up and propel him to that number one status, because Julius, who has the better talent, was just haywire last year. So we went to the next best thing, which was RJ, because he shows intangibles. I get it. But RJ is not the one. Granted, like I said, you need a person like that on the team, and everybody wants to root for Rudy. But at the end of the day, you can put a lot of NBA players, because when you have players on other teams who are putting up empty stats or just putting up stats, even though their efficiency may be trash, even though they're on a losing team, no other player gets that benefit of the doubt. But we're so quick to anoint RJ this thing that he's not, and it's evident when you watch him.
But
why is he not? But he hasn't been put in a position to flourish.
Look at his usage rates. Pull up his numbers.
You don't want to compare Julius Randle to RJ Barrett, please don't.
No, I'm not comparing them. But look at RJ's
he's comparing
usage
RJ
rate.
to Cam Reddish. This is RJ Barrett versus Cam Reddish.
No.
That's even worse.
What we're
that's
talking
what he
about
wants to be number one dog on his team.
Right. Hey, hold on. Wait, did Coach K? Because Coach K chose RJ Barrett over Cam Reddish too.
Right.
Okay. Listen, at the end of the day, now I'm gonna leave it there. At the end of the day, I would rather have saw Cam out there last year to see if he was it or not. And that's my opinion.
Cam was hurt. He was hurt.
So listen, they treated him like a redheaded stepchild from the moment he got there. What NBA player would feel wanted when if Thibodeau treated you like he treated Cam?
Yeah, but the thing is, you can't name a player who was put in the position RJ was put in and still produced the way he produced.
And RJ has been given every chance.
Name one. Really? How?
Chance to succeed.
Yeah, RJ never had a team. He had a different coach every single time. They never had a real scheme. He never really had a real role. The first time he really got the keys was last season, and everybody's mad because he averaged 20 points on low efficiency numbers when he really didn't have any help. Really, essentially, only Julius Randle.
Right. And Miguel P, thank you for the generous contribution. Miguel P says, Tibbs is win first, rebuild development second. And so I put the numbers up on the screen just for the point guard conversation, because I thought it was the point guard conversation. It evolved into something else. But if you guys remember, I showed the Knicks frequency of running the pick and roll, the percentage that they ran pick and roll, it was 5th, right? Now look at their field goal percentage in the pick and roll, 37.7%. So they ran it that much and were that efficient, and we want to take out Quickly and Burks and put in McBride. That number may have been in the 20s.
Nobody said Quickly.
Bro, you said give McBride minutes.
No, I said play Quickly or McBride at the starting point guard to see what they can do. Because you're showing those numbers. Apparently, Burke wasn't equipped to do much out there.
Because he's the second unit small forward.
So once again, who does that fall back on?
McBride, because he's a point guard. A natural point guard can't beat out the second unit small forward for the starting point guard spot, and that's Tom Thibodeau's fault.
And you honestly, so you were okay with the point guard situation?
No, I wasn't okay with it, because I wasn't okay with Kemba. I'm not okay with Kemba. I wasn't okay with Derrick Rose. I wasn't okay with Miles McBride, but I'd at least like to give Miles McBride a chance.
And Freezy, just to touch back on the point guard thing and why the front office, along with Tom Thibodeau, sabotaged the team. We had multiple chances. We could have got Tyler Halliburton. I think that's his name.
Right.
We could have gotten multiple point guards. Right. But what did they do? They waited to the last minute, and then they bring in bum knee. Goddamn, who was his name? What's his name?
Kemba.
Kimba. Yeah, they bring in bum knee Kimba at the last moment, knowing he probably didn't even pass the physical, but knowing once again that they already had a plan. They were just going to use him as a stopgap and get Brunson and put Kimba to the side. That's another nail in the coffin. Like I said, the team already knew what they were going to do from the beginning, and it's played out. And to this day, that's why we're sitting here fussing and fighting about the players on our team.
But Snyder, this is the thing. Did the plan work? Did their plan work?
We don't know yet.
Did they achieve their goal with Jalen Brunson, though, right?
Right. That's okay, but not
based on what you said.
Yes.
You said their goal was to get Jalen Brunson, right?
Yes.
And they got Jalen Brunson, right?
You got him. But now their job is not.
Yeah, but our roster is way better than what we had last year with signing Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier.
And I don't dispute that.
All right, so we're a step closer now to getting what we need.
Yes, we are, and I'm not disputing that.
And also, I know since you come from a school that wear orange and black, y'all think y'all better than everybody else. Listen, I get it. I get it, right? But the thing is, to your Cam Reddish point, right? We all feel like Cam Reddish needs to show us something, right?
Yes.
We all feel like Cam Reddish is an NBA player, right?
Yes.
In a season where Cam Reddish had a bunch of injuries, the Achilles injury that lingered since January, the separated shoulder, all these different things, right? Why are we quick to throw dirt on Cam Reddish's grave and not just wait to see what he can do when he's fully healthy?
That's what I'm saying.
No. I'm talking about going forward. I'm not talking about what happened in the past.
Well, what I don't like Freezy is because, like I said, I'm an underdog guy. Since Cam has got here, Tibbs showed him no love. I hear a lot of people talking around the internet. Cam's a bust. Cam's this, Cam's that. Every trade that takes place, Cam's out of here, which is probably true because they showed him no love from the beginning. So it's upsetting to me the fact that we haven't had talent like that in forever, and we won't even play the guy so we can see what we got.
That's partially true. Everything that I've seen from the front office is they have showed Cam love, especially at Summer League when I saw Cam, Leon Rose, and Tom Thibodeau together hugging and embracing, shaking hands, chopping it up. I saw that with my own eyes on ESPN, right? And the other thing too is partially true and partially false. When Berman asked Tibbs about Cam Reddish, his deal was not about Cam Reddish. It was about an additional rotation player. They said Tibbs is not excited to have another rotational player being brought in when he can barely find enough minutes for the kids he already had. See, Kevin Knox was a bench player. You trade for Cam. Cam needs minutes. So how are you going? You just said Miles McBride needed minutes, right? Miles McBride should have been playing. Jericho Sims should have been playing. Quentin Grimes should have been playing. RJ, Mitchell Robinson. All these young guys, Obi, all these young guys getting minutes, and then you're gonna bring in Cam Reddish, another young player that needs minutes.
Well, he didn't play any of them.
And but because who can which play out of that group can you play 30, 35 minutes? None.
Well, Freezy,
and then hold on. So and then if you're talking about splitting up the minutes equally, you're gonna get that some players play 14, some players play 18, and that's what happened. Instead of playing Obi 35 minutes, they just split the minutes up equally amongst these kids. And now we're talking about some kids not getting enough minutes, but they were playing.
Would you agree?
Cam Reddish, Cam Reddish averaged 14 minutes a game with the Knicks, right?
What, the games that he did play?
The games that he did play, yeah.
Exactly. Because the best ability is availability.
Hey, would you say that a lot of the starters?
I love Cam.
Would you say a lot of the starters actually played themselves out of the starting rotation, but was never sat on the bench? Would you agree with that?
What I would say is, if you're developing kids, you got to have some veterans on the floor. You can't play all kids.
That.
You can't play
But
all
Julius,
kids, bro. It's why in school kids have
Obi should have
teachers.
got a whole lot of more minutes than what he got.
Over who? Over Mitchell Robinson or Julius Randle?
Julius. Sit his butt on the pine. The way he was acting.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is unreasonable.
Okay. So you guys. So listen, I'm old school. I'm of the same.
I'm old school. I'm 47, and I don't believe a word you saying. Period.
That's all good. But I'm old school. I'm 51. Listen, one bad apple spoils the bunch. You guys keep talking about that 20, 10, and 5. Just because Julie's putting up 20, 10, and 5, that don't mean he gets the right of way to do whatever he wants to do. You sit if he's not acting right, you sit his butt on the bench.
And I think you're isolating a couple little instances. Though.
Yeah,
I don't think that was the narrative.
And so you view Randall as a bad apple. You know who the Knicks viewed as a bad apple? Kemba Walker. Because the first move they did in the offseason was get him out of here. Okay. That was the first move they did. Before they could do anything else, they was like, yo, get Kemba out of here. Not Randall. Not the supposed bad apple. Listen. The first move was to get Kemba Walker out of here. And they took an L to get him out of here.
Yeah, but I still look back at Tibbs for all the things that went on last year. Players that should have been sitting on the bench were not put to the bench.
But that's because you're corporate. That's because you're corporate.
I'm not corporate.
Yeah, you are corporate. You following the corporate model. And all things, the performance of the company fall back on leadership. That's what you're telling me.
Oh, okay. If you're going to say that, then yes, I'm corporate with that.
Right. You say all the failings and successes, all of that stuff. Like the successes, you give the kudos to the employees, but the failures go to leadership, right?
No, I would say I believe in that, but at the same time, if you as an employee is not performing, I don't reward people just like my sons, my kid. I don't reward him for bad behavior. So if you're going to have people on the team with bad behavior, they should not get rewarded for that. I don't care how much you're paying them.
Right.
You don't get rewarded for bad behavior. And if you are raising your kid like that, then I feel sorry. Right. That's not good philosophies.
No, I get that, but I
just whipped my son's ass, basically.
Here you go.
My bad.
He old school.
Yeah, and so that's all I'm getting at. Like if you feel like because we have to establish the point and not say go around the world to prove a point. Because your point is the Knicks failed at a lot of stuff last year, including development, right? Not just games, not just wins and losses, right? They won and lost. They lost a lot of games, right? But they also failed at development, right? That's what you're saying, right?
Yes, they did.
And so that falls back on the coach.
In my opinion, yes, because the way he coached and what he did.
All right, then. So okay. So
you always said pick a direction.
Right. And so what I'm saying in this point is that in this point, I wouldn't say that in this case with the development that it's a zero-sum proposition, because I feel like the young players got a lot better. Right. Now, did they have those moments where one of the young players went off for 50 points and you can point out, see, hey, that's what we're talking about right there? No, they didn't. Right. Emmanuel quickly had a couple triple doubles. Obi Toppin had two 30-point games and a 40-point game. Right. Yeah. Late in the season. Right. Late in the season. So the guys that were getting minutes showed the progress where Cam Reddish, the one you favor, didn't have that moment. So it looks like the total sum is poor development. But you can point out to RJ Barrett having a 46-point game, Obi Toppin busting out late, Emmanuel quickly having two triple doubles at the end of the season, Cam Reddish not having any of that. But since Cam didn't enjoy the benefits of that too, it looks like the total development went lacking, and I disagree.
And look how they played in the summer league. Look how Grimes developed. Like Grimes didn't get as many minutes to shine But if they did some sort of development, it might have been behind the scenes. But he developed into what he was in the summer league this year.
What's up, panel?
And so what's up, man? Nick Yak says, I always make some comparisons instead of answering questions. First of all, you need Nick Yak, you need to listen, pay attention. Stop being a hater. Take off that Brooklyn Nets jersey and focus. There was no question. He didn't ask the question that he asked specifically. I answered specifically. I answered it specifically.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
What are you talking? Hey, Chilltown, did I not answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. The person that asked the question said I answered the question. Come on, bro. Come on with them fingers, man. Do something else with them fingers, man.
Hey, Chilltown, I got a question for you.
Hey, hold on for just a second. Miguel P says, Deuce went off against Dallas and got banished. He went off against Milwaukee too, but I think the banishment with Deuce though. I'm sorry. I got plays because not Deuce, but Grimes went off against Dallas, and he kind of like. It just shows me that those kids aren't ready. The kids ain't ready. You know what I'm saying? Just give them time, man. We want these dudes to become Michael Jordan overnight. Come on, man. Give these kids time. Hey, go ahead, Marcus. My bad.
You good? Chill time.
Yes, sir.
You said something that I feel like was a very important thing that you bring up. And it's probably one of my main biggest problems, and why I say that Chilltown, you're also a part of the problem, and why we've been accepting this loser mediocrity in New York.
Okay.
Quentin Grimes goes out and balls in Summer League. Julius Randle comes into a New York Knicks uniform, gets All-Star of the Year, makes Most Improved Player in the same season. RJ Barrett goes to about average, makes his average into the 30s. Obi Toppin drops a 38-point performance during this whole time. Drops 38 performance during the league, correct?
During the end
Emmanuel
of the season.
quickly drops a triple-double, right?
Yes.
The only one that's not performing, or the only one that hasn't shown it, is Cam.
Okay.
And respectfully, I'm sorry if you expect me to sit around and wait for Cam when Cam was playing the third option on the Atlanta Hawks and wasn't really showing nothing like that.
And Duke.
And Quentin Grimes, who showed out in the Summer League. Let's be honest, Summer League's not really all that impressive. The bottom line is we have all these ham sandwiches that are not doing nothing for us. Grimes, quickly, Obi, they have to go. And I'm sorry, when you're telling me as a Knicks fan that I got to sit here and listen and bash Randall, I got to bench Randall for Obi Toppin, who sometimes gives me 38 or sometimes give me 30. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do that when my best player is the most improved player and was an all-star his first year. I'm not going to do that.
So would you bench Chilltown? Would you bench Rodman or Draymond Green because they're players that exhibit bad behavior? Ron Artest.
When you're, and to answer that real quickly, when you are a winning organization, then sometimes
you can overlook things.
Sometimes teams put up with things like that. But when you're not established, if you spent the last 3 decades in mediocrity and subpar performance from head office all the way down, you can't tolerate those things. And I get what you're saying. But when you're at the bottom, you're not allotted those benefits. So I get what you're saying, and I am old school, but at the same time, if you have been trashed for 3 decades, you don't get that.
I can tell you old school to your heart, bro. I can tell you you old school.
You realize that it doesn't matter if the player has a behavioral issue or not. Coach just brought up Ron Artest and Dennis Rodman. One could argue the NBA's players' most polarizing figures because of their behavioral issues. And you're going to sit here and tell me that I got to bring a young guy in and bench Ron Artest and Dennis Rodman because their behavior? Man, miss me. That's the reason why you sit there and set mediocre. That's mediocre.
Hey, y'all, listen. I gotta get out of here real quick, man. I gotta get out of here because I'm over. I got some stuff that's overdue. But Coach, I'm gonna hit you up in a few minutes, man, because I think I might be free like at 3:30 for something. So right. if y'all want to do the thing that we talked about earlier, I'm gonna call you on the telephone and talk about it. Hey, everybody, listen, thank y'all for coming through. This 3 hours and 20 minutes. Yo, we've been at it for 200 minutes, maybe. We've been at it for 200 minutes. Yo, this time flew by, bro. Hey, thank y'all for coming through. Hey, Marcus, thank you for coming through, man. We appreciate you.
No problem.
And your
salute, everybody.
Bro. We'll be back on tonight, definitely in the morning. Salute, hey, everybody. Salute. Hey, salute. Big Chris. Hey, shout out to Chris, man. Hey, and shout out to everybody, man. We'll see.